Greetings, greetings, greetings. Welcome to Berea Babes Podcast. I'm your host, Vale Chicken. This is your Christian podcast. We're going to have fun tonight. We're going to have fun tonight. So, I have my two sisters, okay? So, get ready. You're going to be laughing the whole time, okay? And here we go. All right. You have two in a row. All right. Sister Kiana, introduce yourself. Everybody knows Kiana, but there might be a few who don't know you. So go ahead.
And everyone doesn't know me. Hey y'all, I'm Kiana Q Shaw as I usually go by online. I am here for the comic relief. Violet and Jarena are the professionals, so I'm just here for that, y'all.
That
Jerena,
uh,
go ahead.
well, hi, I'm Jarena, and you know what? Q, actually, Violet is the she's the professional on here for this. See, I'm here to tag along.
Oh man, this is gonna be fun. Okay, thank you guys for joining us. Brianna, I see you over there. Nice. Thank you guys for tuning in. So we're gonna this is just gonna be fun and exciting. Okay, I was already laughing. So we're gonna have you guys join in the laughter. So by now, I think everybody knows that there's this video that has gone viral. This lady, she's a high value woman. Okay, she does not believe that she's worthy to be going to Cheesecake Factory. When I saw the video, I thought she was just acting and everything. But lo and behold, this is actually this thing is real, y'all. You know, it actually happened. So we're gonna play the clip, and we're gonna chime in. So we want you guys to join in the discussion in the chats. We'll populate your chats on the screen. So maybe there's something we can learn. As TGC said, 7 things Christians need to learn from Taylor Swift. Eros
I
tour.
don't
So,
see. No, you already started.
so what can Christians learn from this data? Christians. Oh man. Okay, fine. Without further ado, let's play the clip, and I'll be stopping it along the way, okay? Anytime you want me to stop ladies, just let me know and we'll stop it, okay? But
Okay.
here we go. All right. Okay. Oh, sorry, this was how the video was. I can understand the way she's dressed, but this was how it was. There's nothing we could have done about it. So here we go.
Hello?
Nothing. I'm just talking to my girls.
Okay. Tell them I said hi.
Yeah.
Alright. Let me just get the door for you.
Okay. He got me at the Cheesecake Factory, y'all. I ain't getting out this car. Mm-mm.
Now, now see, right here is
Yes.
where no one
Do you
that
want me to
I
open the
saw
door
one
for you?
person who was talking about this. The fact that she locked him out of his own
You
car.
recording me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
This is the Cheesecake
yeah.
Factory. This is the Cheesecake Factory, y'all.
What's the problem with that?
This is a chain restaurant. Who takes someone that looks like this to a chain restaurant?
You want to talk about it? I'm
Aw.
fine with talking about it, even in front of them.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Come on, get up on in the car. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, okay.
Okay, so in when I saw this video, my estimation was I'm noticing that this car has two sunroof. You can see there's one here, there's two here. So to
Mhm.
me, I took that as a clue that this guy is driving a very expensive car.
Mhm.
So and so let's finish this, and then we'll talk about it. But I just wanted you guys to see where I was thinking, like, okay, this guy is driving an expensive car.
Mhm.
So we'll finish up the clip.
So,
So yes, let's talk about it. Let's talk
You-
about it.
so you expect a man to go all out on the first date? Is that right?
I mean, you're supposed to. Look at, I mean, when you take out a beautiful woman and you're courting her, because I get courted. So you're courting her, right? You're supposed to take care of her. You're
And-
supposed to cover her. You're supposed to protect her, cherish her, treat her well.
Well, stop
Yeah.
it real quick, Vi.
And,
You're
and
supposed
I,
to do.
I was gonna be like,
She's
yeah, we're
not,
gonna stop.
she's talking
Okay.
about covering. She need to cover herself first. She need one of those church cloths that they did when people caught the Holy Spirit and they didn't
Yeah.
want everything to be showing. What was that? Who did the video? Was it Jason or was it April who did the video for the pastor who actually had the whole little shout cloths? She need one of them. She should have gone to him before she went on that date.
Yeah. So do you guys think? Because she said that maybe I'm from Africa. She's saying it's like, okay, so somebody is courting her. Does that count if somebody is taking you for a date? Does that count as somebody courting you?
And that was the first date, right? That was the first date they ever
Right.
went on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought courting was more of something that's over time, like that courting, like courting to get married for marriage, I thought that was over time. I didn't think courting would be considered the very first date, but I don't know. What do you think, Q? I don't know.
No, that's
Uh-huh.
not courting. And
Okay.
on another when they did the interview after post this, she
Mhm.
was like, I was taught that the woman was supposed to be catered to, and when you court a woman, you take her where she wants to go, and you buy her all the things she wants. Girl, you have no idea what words mean, and I need you to shut up. And apparently,
So,
purple lipstick is her signature because I know Jason talked about that. Purple
Okay.
lipstick is actually, it must be her signature lipstick because even on the show that they were on with the interview, she did not have on
Mm.
the lime green dress and she was actually more covered when they did
Okay.
that, but she still had on the purple lipstick. So I think that's her signature color.
Okay. Okay. All right. Let's hear her more.
yeah.
Oh,
I agree.
no.
I
At the
went
Cheesecake
into this
Factory?
date as I expect, with the expectations for myself, to keep you safe,
Mhm.
to respect you, uh, to pay for your food, of course, pick you up, of course, and just treat you like a gentleman, which I believe I have done.
I mean,
And-
you've been pretty
and then-
nice, but I mean,
And then
Cheesecake Factory.
I, on the other hand, have certain expectations for a girl I go out with on the first date. I expect her to be respectful too. I expect her to be cooperative, and at least
What did I do that wasn't cooperative?
well, I mean, like even like when we were walking to the car, you wouldn't put your hand around my arm or anything like that, or hold my hand or anything like that.
I mean, it's too early for that.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know
and
you
I can
yet.
respect that. I can respect that.
Okay.
When I got to your apartment to pick you up, you didn't want to invite me in. I can respect that too. We're not
Again,
maybe
I don't
we're
know
not there.
yet.
Okay,
I don't know yet.
and then, but
I mean, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do as a woman.
but
I
mean,
got myself
there's
all made
nothing
up.
wrong with the Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yes, there's a lot wrong with the Cheesecake Factory.
Okay, well look
I mean,
at my planner where we were.
Okay. So what about that, ladies? I agree with her when the guy was expecting, somebody to hold, his hand. I think for a first date, that was too much expectation on the guy. So I think
Now
like,
hold
okay,
his
fine,
hand.
you do. Because that's what
Holding
he
hand,
said.
yes. But he was like, even put your hand on my arm. So people do that all the time. You take a man's arm, you just like lay that so he escorts you somewhere. That's not something they do
That's
that at
oh,
cotillions and things like that. I mean, I do that with my nephew. So to actually just kind of grab his arm so that
okay. It
he
shows that
steadies
they're
you, he
together.
anchors you. Now I'm not holding your hand, but
Mm.
the
Well, I
But
think
not
it's
just even
interesting that
grabbing
that
his arm.
she would say something about holding hands or touching arm when you want this dude to spend all his money though at the gate. It's
Yep.
funny how you make a big deal. Yeah, you see what I mean? It's so she's talking out of both sides of her neck actually. So
oh yeah, yeah. Like Brianna says, like, yeah, she doesn't think it's too soon to be showing her boobs. Yeah, I mean,
right,
the
there's,
girls were
there's that
out,
too.
yo. You know, the girls were out. So
I mean, out, not just
yes,
cleavage. You got like that's a whole nother
yeah.
thing. That's not even just cleavage right there. That's a whole nother situation.
All the goods are out, man. All the goods are out. Okay.
We're gonna go originally.
See, now that's where we should have went. All right there.
See,
Call him.
no.
What do you mean no?
See,
I
I
know you
specifically
didn't.
told you both yesterday and this morning that I'd come to pick you up at 4 a.m. At 4 p.m. Right?
Mm.
And I got to your place at 4 p.m. You didn't even come downstairs for another hour, and so I was waiting downstairs.
I
For an hour,
understand.
right?
But I wasn't expecting for work to take me so long. I got home a little late. And like I said, I don't know you well enough to invite you up into my apartment.
And
That is not possible.
that's why I'm saying, I'm thinking, okay, if we're not there in the relationship to, meet at your apartment, then maybe we're not ready in a relationship for such a nice fancy restaurant as Aria, especially if I'm paying for the whole thing, which I'm still willing to do.
I
I
mean,
would have been,
okay.
but if we're late, I mean, I
I mean,
told
we
you
weren't
twice.
late. It wasn't that late.
We literally
Come on.
left your place at the time the reservation was supposed to be.
Oh,
And I specifically said 4 because maybe we could get there early and even have some time to get to know each other on the way there and while we're in the parking lot
I mean,
and waiting for a reservation.
we can still get to know each other. Isn't there another restaurant you can call that, like, the
No.
equivalent to that? I mean,
I
you
literally
don't
just said
understand. Look at me. I cannot go in the Cheesecake Factory.
there's nothing wrong
I
with
will
that.
die. That's
Okay.
embarrassing.
Listen, as I said, I have very specific certain expectations
Oh,
for a date.
no.
I can tell it's not gonna be there. And maybe we're not right for each other. So respectfully, I'm
Oh,
gonna
no,
just
he
drop you
didn't.
off at home.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm not.
So you just want to call it a night? I mean,
Yeah.
isn't there some kind of compromise or something? Ladies, can you believe this?
I'm sorry, y'all.
Please pull
but
out of the parking space.
If I don't feel
Can you
respected,
see?
I
I
am
mean-
not gonna go through
I
with
mean,
the rest
come
of the
on.
date.
Well, I mean, you are serious. You really leaving?
Yeah, I mean, you didn't want this place anyway, right?
I mean, I understand that I was late. I understand that. I understand that I could have been a bit more cooperative. You made some good points. That's why I'm willing to compromise. Are you sure you want to go home?
Nope.
I don't have a lot of rules. I don't have a lot of expectations for a first date, but I've already set them, and you've broken every one.
Oh
So
my God.
I'm sorry. We're dropping you off home.
All right, whatever. Well, I mean, I guess I understand. You got to do what you got to do.
So so uh, that was the decision that they decided. They ended up leaving, not going to Cheesecake Factory. When I had seen this clip, my husband told me, "Have you seen?" I'm like, "No, I haven't seen. What's that?" I saw it. I'm like, "Baby, she's just acting. This cannot be true." I'm like, "I like Cheesecake Factory. I like Cheesecake Factory." I'm like, "That's not a big deal." And even if you didn't like the Cheesecake Factory, this was your first date. Why couldn't you just play along and just be like, okay, that's fine. You see what I'm saying? But on the first date, this girl, she's already demanding, wanting to go to this fancy, expensive restaurant. To me, she just shows that, okay, you know what? You are a god digger, and you're using this guy. So one of my friend was telling me that actually this is actually what's happening right now. Like girls do this, and there's actually men who who entertain this type of behavior. I'm like, you what? So I was just like, wow. I've been out for quite some time. I have no idea what's going on. So, what's your take, girls?
Well, I don't
Doreen,
even
go.
know
I'll
what
let you go.
ladies are acting like this. What ladies in this world is acting like this? You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not a lot of them that's acting this way. I know Q and I don't act this way for sure, you know. It's ridiculous. And I thought he was being such a gentleman to come pick her up for a date. Went over there to open up her car door, all that
Mm.
business. He seemed to be a pretty decent guy. I think she has her standards misplaced, right? She seems to have a set of standards that are very, just worldly. It's very superficial, and unfortunately, she has the wrong set of standards. And I don't know if this is an effort to secure somebody treating you right or not, but this is
Gotta
not
get
the
your
right way to go
bag,
about it.
girl. Get your bag.
See that this is not the best way to go about it. So there we are.
Q.
You know, one, Jarena, unfortunately, I think way more people are behaving like this than we would like to think.
Mhm. Oh
Mhm.
wow.
Two, again, I will say, this lady locked this man out of his own car.
Oh
And
yeah.
then proceeded to roll the windows down on him in his own car. Y'all, I mm, I wasn't always saved. I'd have snatched a braid. You're not gonna lock me out of my own car.
You gotta be like, get out of my car. Like right now. You're walking
Yes,
home.
I'm snatching you out. Yeah, there's no way. She's like he didn't call her Uber and make her pay for it. You locked me out of my car.
See.
And the whole little deal on a first date. Again, I think I have started with the whole little coffee dates for first dates because I first dates usually don't end up with second dates. I've had a lot of
Mm.
first dates, not too many second dates. So I can drink my coffee and then if I don't like you, we can be like, and have a nice night. So for the fact that this man actually wanted to spend the better part of an hour or more with her to share a meal with her on a first date, this day and age, she was lucky.
Yeah,
And
and
Hmm.
here's the thing, she was talking about where she goes. And maybe it's different now. L- Back in the day when I was coming up, women didn't want to eat in front of men like that. So you trying to go to Aria and order what? A steak? All the rest of that? Where you gonna get a salad? Because I'm telling you, we're not going to a place that costs $100 a plate or more, and you get a salad. Because I'm mad at that too. You gonna have
yeah.
some real food. So
What?
unfortunately, unfortunately, I think this is the way a lot of people behave,
Oh
and
wow.
just based on the things that I've seen
Mm.
as far as dating profiles on apps. She didn't even meet him on an app. That's the crazy thing too. You met this dude in real life.
Oh, for real? They
And
didn't meet
then
on
you
the
treated
app?
him like this? This wasn't even a
Oh.
Oh.
swipe left, swipe right type deal. No, they were out. He was out for one of his friends' birthdays and at this
Oh.
lounge or whatever in Midtown, Atlanta. And he saw her. He thought she was beautiful. And so he
Oh.
decided to shoot his shot. And they exchanged numbers and they talked. And then he
Wow.
eventually asked her out to go on a date. And this is the way you behave? I
Oh
wish I
wow.
could meet somebody in person.
Wow.
See
It's so
that.
hard to meet people in person. So,
Wow.
this girl had an opportunity to explain herself, okay? So we're gonna watch this clip where she explained herself why she did what she did, okay? So watch this, yo. We'll be stopping as we go along because the explanation, I wasn't buying it. So let's see if you guys are buying this explanation. Okay, here we
Oh,
go.
no second dates.
Not yet.
Okay, okay. So I'll start with you, Jay. What has dating been like for you since that video went viral?
Since I was on the video, kind of unexpected, I might not have put my best foot forward, and so I feel like, I've not really met anyone since who I've really gotten to get to know like that because a lot of women, they might have seen the video or might have heard from it, or maybe a friend of them has seen the video and shares it with them. And so they kind of had this image of me based on the video,
Absolutely.
and it hasn't really helped.
Okay.
Exactly. It's like they might think everything about me is reflected in that video, and I don't think it is.
Okay, so I was troubled when I was troubled when I heard that.
Right.
Apparently, people were on the side of this woman and they were calling this guy out that he didn't put his best foot forward. To me, that guy, he didn't do anything wrong. He handled
Right.
it well. Okay? If
He did.
anything, I was just like, dude, you gotta let her out of the car. Because if this is how she's gonna roll in your car, you'd be like, sweetheart,
Right.
not only that, the only thing I'm gonna do for you, I'm just gonna call an Uber for you. So you are going back home in an Uber just to show you that I don't take this nonsense. That's what I would have done if it was me. The least I could have done, I would have called an Uber for her because you picked her up at her house, so you're responsible, for, to make sure that she gets home safely. I would have been like, sweetheart, I'm gonna show you. Call an Uber and let her jump on an Uber, and that would have been the last time she saw me. But this
No,
guy
no,
was
you got to
nice
text her to
enough.
make sure she got home. It's like I'll text you to make sure the Uber got you home all right, and you weren't one of those true crime stories. But
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
so
it's funny how the world has, the world has its own standard. See, so it's funny that people of the world would be looking at him crazy because I thought he was actually a gentleman, especially at the very beginning of that date. He was being such a gentleman, and for him not to for him to respond to her behavior that way, like Q was saying, I think you know he or Violet, I think he responded really well actually to her behavior. He could have acted up, acted worse than what he did, and I don't think he acted bad at all. It's funny. I just think, see, this is the standards of the world. See, this is what the world does. This is why this is a whole nother thing here. But yeah.
yes. So I guess the thing is real. Like women are expecting to be treated this way. And I was just like, oh wow, you know, Oh, man,
they're expected to be treated this way when they are not presenting themselves. When I was in college, I had roommates, and I would always tell them, "Don't advertise what you are not selling." She was advertising goods, but talking about how she wasn't trying to sell anything. Well, honey,
oh,
you're
that's a
you're
good
saying
point,
two different
Q.
things. It's like
Right.
you're saying one thing with your mouth, and with every other part of you, you're saying something different.
Oh
Right.
Because
yeah,
Right. Right.
I don't know. Maybe people do it online now. Maybe it's the Instagram stalking type deal. But I was back in the day dating and young when there were cat calls. You walk down the street and men said things. They can't do that now because of Me Too. But
yes, yeah.
those were the days I was in, and even with that, I did not have men say the vilest or most disrespectful things to me. And one of my roommates did, and she was like, "Why is it they don't say
Mhm.
what they say to me to you?" I was
Mm,
like, "Because I don't advertise. I'm just walking down the street in my regular clothes, and for
Right.
some reason, they find me attractive. I don't know why, because I'm like, apparently I rate in the like 3 to 5 category because again, nobody's offered to pay my bills. This woman's on here talking about you're supposed to do this, this, this. I'm like,
yeah,
I've paid all my bills. I I have paid for my I've been paying for my own meals, all the rest of it. When I go out, I don't generally pay for my meals because I do expect I now I do have that expectation. As a
yeah.
woman, I have the expectation that the
Yeah, I
man is
think a
going
guy
to
should pay
pay
for
for
your
the meal.
for your meal on the first date, but
Hmm.
demanding to be going to high-end restaurant to me,
Right. Right.
even if I was a guy and I have the money and I was intending to take you, just
Hmm.
off the fact that you're demanding there, to me, I'll just be like, you know what, sweetheart, see you
Yeah.
later, because you've already
Right.
shown me what you're made of. Even if I entertain you, right, it shows me once my money runs out, once I'm not able to take you to the fancy
Right.
restaurant, can I
Right.
count on you
Right.
to be there? Absolutely not.
Hmm.
And I mean, at the
Right.
first date, you're trying to put your best foot forward. But oh, you've just shown me that you're just, you are all about this high life and everything. She could be nice
Right.
and everything, but everything she presented
She's
me,
not.
I'll be like, run.
And it's
Mm-mm.
it's too bad
Run.
that
No.
the dude it's too bad that that dude feels like he did something wrong. He needs
That's what
to
I'm
also
saying. Like he's
reevaluate himself.
apologizing.
Right.
Yeah.
But he needs to reevaluate himself. He needs to think about the type of women that he goes after because Q, remember, she just provided the backstory to this. He was attracted to her, I guess. So what? See, that's the thing. He needs to examine himself too. So it's not only the woman that's acting a fool on here. In some sense, the dude is too, because he needs to
Yeah,
examine why is it that you would even want want somebody like that. You see what I mean?
that's
And
yeah.
why now are you putting it all on yourself that you've done something wrong in light of her behavior? Why are you doing that? What standards are we going by? You see what I mean?
Y-
He
Yeah.
saw a pretty
Good
girl. He saw
points.
what he thought was a pretty girl, and he chatted her up. And we're not talking about taking you to Arias on when you're chatting somebody up. I've ch- y'all, I've gone out with a convicted felon on a date.
Mhm.
It's not usually the thing you lead with, "Hi, I'm a convicted felon." Now I knew he was a convicted felon before I went out with him, and I went
People
out because I just
change.
wanted to do some research. But but that's not the thing you lead with when you're just having a casual conversation. Hey, you have to
Mm,
take me to Arias. Hey, you have to do this. So he saw a woman that he thought was attractive. He approached her. He had some text conversations with her, perhaps some phone conversations with her. They probably
Mhm.
chatted about family. They chatted about what they did with their day. They chatted about food if they come to the Dear Woke Christian Lives.
yeah.
And that was that. And then and when he goes to pick her up, I mean, you can't tell somebody's going to be an hour late by talking to them on the phone.
Yeah, no, yeah,
That
but
was
also
another
to
thing.
me,
That was
that's
terrible.
yes. I was
Terrible.
like,
Yeah.
we agreed. I'm gonna come pick you up at this time, okay? Even if something came up, right? At least communicate. She didn't communicate.
That's
So
right.
the fact
That's
that
right.
this dude was waiting in the parking lot for 1 hour,
Yes.
that showed this lady I can walk all over you. Cause if it
Yeah.
was me, sweetheart, by the
That's
time
it.
you come downstairs, I'm gone. Literally, I'm
Right.
gone. Why should I be waiting
Absolutely.
for an
15
hour for you?
minutes.
Why?
Yeah, yeah, he should have
I'd
left
have
in
been
15
gone.
minutes, especially without no text message, without no
Exactly.
notification. He should
Yeah.
have left in
Yes.
15 minutes.
Yes. So I think
Yeah.
this guy showed this woman that, you know what, this one you can walk all over. I mean, because there's no way, like, which dude is going to wait for a girl getting ready for an hour downstairs with zero communication on a first date?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I'll be like, you know what? Adios.
But but you know what, Vi? It's hard out here. He was like, man, I caught one. She's gonna,
I'm going to win. No.
she's gonna go out with me.
No
I met somebody
Mm.
in person. It was not on an app, so I'm gonna take my chances. Hey, what's a little hour?
I mean, I don't know. Even if it was me, I wouldn't wait for an hour. With no
Not at
I
communication.
all.
wouldn't
At
either.
least let me know.
Absolutely.
Yeah, with no communication. In fact, even if it was okay, let's say you went out for a date, right? And you just agreed, okay, we're just gonna meet at this particular location. Okay, you drive to the location. Are you honestly telling me you're gonna wait in the restaurant waiting for the date to show up for an hour? To me, at that point, I'll just take it. This guy has ghosted me. I'm out of here.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
no
Right.
I
communication.
text
It's a
my
different
fam.
story.
I text my family when I'm late, like coming back from the G3 conference, because we have what's affectionately known in our family as broke timber. So we have 4 birthdays in 2 weeks, and 3 of the birthdays are literally in 3 consecutive days. So
Hmm.
we did a lunch on the Sunday that I came back from the G3 conference. And I'm texting them to let them know where I am or calling and saying, hey, I'm this amount of time out. This is when I expect to get there. And that's my family, not a date,
Mhm.
not a stranger. I do that with family and friends.
Right.
So for her to think that that was okay, because my thing is, she said, I didn't expect work to take that long. Well, ma'am, when you knew work was
Communicate.
going to take that long, you have his number. Because again, this wasn't a swipe left, swipe right type of
Yes,
deal.
yes,
Hey, Jay,
yeah,
work is taking longer than I thought. Is there any
yeah,
way we can move reservations? I'm going to
yes,
be a little late. It's going to take me this.
yes,
She had zero respect for this man's
Right.
time.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And
exactly.
he should not have tolerated that. That's the thing. And he
Exactly.
shouldn't be sitting here at this part of the story talking about I wasn't in a good light. See,
Yes,
he needs to be the man. He's not being the
yes,
man on this either.
Right.
I'm just saying
yes,
there's
But
both sides to this.
but
yes,
we have all breathed in feminism, and so he's been beat down
yes.
by the
You can see
gynocracy just
that.
like the rest of
Yes,
us have.
Mhm.
yes,
And so he feels like he needs to apologize for the
yes,
way that for actually being a man, because what he did was
yes,
what a man should do. Now, mind you, he should have been
yes,
the
Right.
man while he was waiting outside her apartment two
Right.
yes,
hours ago.
yes,
Right.
But
yes,
what he
yes,
did was he was actually being a man, and he felt like he had to apologize for being a
Yes.
man, and
Yeah.
that's utterly ridiculous.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
is ridiculous.
Okay. Let's hear more of
Absolutely.
him.
And but yeah, it's been difficult.
Sure, sure, sure.
Well, and it's even before this, dating has already been difficult for me.
I imagine your views kind of clash. What you're looking for and what they're looking for.
Yeah, I think so. Because, I mean, I think in general, my values kind of reflect wanting to build something that lasts.
Yes, sir.
And I want to make sure that anyone that I meet is willing to build a really strong foundation, our mutual values. Mm-hmm. I think it in general, a lot of the people that I meet, either they don't have time to set towards building something like that, or they just don't want to. Casual dating or whatever.
Okay. We are back.
Yep.
Can you guys see us in the chat? Okay. Okay. All right. No idea what happened there, but we are here and we'll carry on. So, what was the last thing that we saw?
He was telling his kind of
Right.
sad
He was
story.
he was talking about how we were talking about how he was apologizing for being a man, and it was ridiculous that he was apologizing for being a man.
Yeah.
I think it in general, a lot of the people that I meet,
so what do you think?
Either they don't have time.
I mean, given thank you guys for being patient. We fixed the thing, so we're gonna carry on. Okay. So far, one thing that I've noticed, this guy to me, either he's Indian or Pakistani. They usually stick to themselves. He's Indian, right? So like they are family oriented, okay? And quite honestly, their families are very patriarchal. So I'm very surprised that he went out of his way to have done whatever he has done. Because, like in their culture, it's almost like, okay, women, they automatically know their place. So, guys are just in charge, they just take care of business, and the women are just, okay, you're going to get married to this particular person. Your father is going to arrange the marriage. You're going to marry this person. You're going to do this. So to me, it just struck me like, okay, the fact that, you're dating a sister over here and you went out, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But given his background culture, just tells me like, okay, is he just trying to be rebellious? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to go all out. Because, yeah, in their family, like if you've never seen these people marry across the board. So I thought that was kind of like interesting. So he must be really interested in this girl over here. And the fact that, okay, he agreed to do this interview, I'm like, dude, you shouldn't be like, you know what? No, thank you. I've moved on. And he said that the prospects, he hasn't gotten anything and people are blaming him. I'm like, sisters, why are you blaming this guy? He's a good dude right here. So I don't know, man.
He's hanging in the wrong internet streets, because all the ones I've seen have been like, he was right, she was wrong. So I don't know. He must have been on her stream where her little friends were like, girl, that's right. You need to you shouldn't have gone into the Cheesecake Factory. The Cheesecake Factory is beneath you. You deserve more, honey. And you know what? All of them are probably single too.
Right.
Yes,
See?
yeah, you're right. Yeah. I didn't like the idea of, okay, you're going on a date with a guy. Why are you advertising? Why are you filming? Why are you sharing that business with your friends? Honestly speaking.
Everybody has a brand these days, Violet.
Right. And that's another thing. She's so full of herself. Do you see her attitude, her behavior? That's my thing. He shouldn't even want nobody like that. She's too full of herself. And then every time you have to advertise everything, that's another thing. We got to be careful with people that has to just advertise everything. She did not even need to record that. That wasn't anybody's business. So what type of relationship he think he would have with her? So actually, he dodged a bullet by her behaving this way. See, so he shouldn't feel downtrodden and he done missed out and all that business. He shouldn't be acting that way. And you know what I think too? He may have experienced like some maybe a few bad type relation like
Mm-hmm.
encounters with women. So now he feels some kind of way about himself, and this is why we don't how can I say, we don't examine our or get our self worth out of how someone treats us. That's not how we go about that. See, that's what I'm saying. There's so many kind of like foundational things that's wrong here with this situation. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Because to me, if you're just gonna blast, I'm taking you out, you're sharing that with your friends. To me, that's a sign of immaturity. What are you doing with your phone? Let alone filming. You see what I mean? So to me, I'm
Mhm.
like, can I tell you, can I share things with you? What if the girl that you're sharing with knows me? What are they going to say? I mean, I don't know. Like this is,
And
I
that
guess
was
things have
disrespectful.
changed, man.
She put him
They
to kind
have.
of like a
Yeah,
shame,
because what
for him
happens?
to do that. Hmm.
So think of this scenario, right? Like, how many of those girlfriends are actually telling you the truth? Are you telling me one of those girlfriends who is single, if this guy makes a move towards one, those girls are gonna say no? What if that person comes in and be like, okay, I'm gonna say yes, Then the next minute, your friend, sweet, you know what I mean, swoops in, and then they have something going and everything like, yeah,
And
that's
they
your
will
fault.
do that.
Yeah,
Right.
I
Her
wouldn't
girl,
even
her
blame
girlfriends will do that to her. They'll be like, "Girl, you
Mhm.
don't need him." And next thing you know, they slide in the man's DMs talking about, "Hey, how you doing, Jay? I'll go to the
No
Cheesecake
good.
Factory with you."
No good. No good.
All right, let's hear more.
To set towards building something like that, or they just don't want to because they're younger, they want to experience casual dating or whatever it is, and it's just not something that I'm looking for right now.
Understood, understood. So obviously, guys, Jay saying that they have a negative, viewing him in a negative light when it comes to dating. When I saw Jay, I saw someone who was making some excellent points, who knew what he want, and he's actually now like a Giga Chad in the manosphere world, in the red pill community. The brother's being mentioned everywhere for the way he handled that conversation. Now I'm going to
Can't
ask
take the
Alicia as
host
well
seriously
because
though.
during this conversation,
He looks
Alicia,
like he's
look
straight
at that,
coming
right?
from
Okay, so
coming off
Alicia,
Coming to America.
you didn't
Said,
seem
"What
to
is
really
up
disagree with what he was saying.
with
Now, you
what
had
he is doing?" He
definitely a
probably
different
hadn't
opinion
been
before
near a
he
place that
gave you
wears a hat like
his
that,
line, right?
Uh-huh.
But you seem
nor
very
those
receptive to it.
clothes.
Can you explain to me kind of what you were thinking and how you saw him in that video? Because he's saying they took him in a negative light. What do you think?
Well, yes, I think once we had the conversation, I could see my role in the conflict.
Okay, okay.
Um, let's back up a little bit. To be fair, I mean, I was always raised that the man is supposed to cater to you. I mean, you're courting me, so court me.
Mhm.
That means wherever I want to go, you take me.
Absolutely.
Whatever I want, you buy me. That's courting. I'm looking for a provider.
How does
So, but after the
She's not wrong.
conversation, I could see how there was a lot of I
Okay.
in that exchange.
Absolutely.
I was definitely very
Okay, that's why she's single. Cause yes, like we know, protector, provider, that is a husband. Okay,
right?
so that's the type of a guy that you're going to be looking for. But you are not going to judge those things based upon if the guy is taking you to an expensive restaurant. It's
Right.
just, so to me,
And
I'm like,
yeah. She's providing like different definitions for things. She just said that that's what courting means. Courting means taking her wherever she wants to go. That's what courting means.
And buying
That's
her
not what that
whatever
means.
she wants to have. Girl, I
That,
don't know you. So you can't invite me to your house, up into your apartment, because she did tell her she did tell him where
mhm,
she lived, which I thought is kind of this day and age. I hope she, is at least packing something.
mhm.
You
okay,
wouldn't take his hand to let him walk you to the car, but he's supposed to take you where you want to go and buy you
Right.
whatever it is you want, because that's what courting is, because she gets courted. Ma'am, I don't know you from a
Mhm,
can of paint.
mhm. And she got her boobs hanging out, talking about how somebody's supposed to treat her. You see that? So that's what I'm thinking. You're half dressed, talking about how somebody is supposed to treat you. See, it's
yeah.
contradictory.
Unironically,
She's talking
like
out of both sides of her neck. So there we are.
unironically, like you really think that you're supposed to be treated like a lady when you dress like a woman for the streets, because
True
she
that.
is for them streets.
Yeah, she didn't put her best foot forward. So we have question from
Yes, she did.
Sister
She did.
V
Nuh-uh.
here.
Nope.
What?
You're wrong. She
Exactly.
did.
That's what I'm
That's all
asking.
she had to offer. She put her best foot forward on that date.
Yes, thank you. Because that's exactly you call it when you get engaged. I
She
don't know if
did.
anybody is gonna put a
Right.
ring on it.
That's what it exactly. That's
So
what I'm
that's what.
saying. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I wonder what she would do like on the first date. Somebody comes in with a big rock. I think she'll put it on. Okay, let's hear her side of a story.
Self-centered, and I can appreciate if I do want someone to provide for me. I at least gotta be a little bit nice.
Absolutely. Okay. Okay, great. So now I ask you this. Based on your idea of dating before your conversation with Jay, how did you grow up? Who also thinks that way? I'm sure you have friends who think that way. I've heard it a lot.
I mean,
Okay.
everybody. I mean, that's what he's supposed to be the provider.
Absolutely.
So, and I'm a beautiful woman, so I'm expecting to be treated like royalty. I mean, come on. So that's
But
what
the
I was
kicker
told.
is,
She coming
how
to
do we
America.
treat him?
She
And that's where
expect to be
that's where
treated
the
like, well,
disconnect was.
she's your
In the video,
queen
now of course, I'm
to
sure you think of it
be.
differently now. But in
No,
the video,
girl,
you
stop.
basically told him that you're not going in there. You know your value. It would be embarrassing for you to go inside a Cheesecake Factory. A lot of people like Cheesecake Factory. Now,
Right.
so when I see that video, I'm thinking, okay, she must have some friends who probably would disagree with her going inside a Cheesecake Factory. Your
Yeah.
peer group.
Yeah,
So
I would
peer
never-
pressure probably keeps
I
you
would
from.
never live that. Oh my God! I would have never lived that down.
Wow.
I
Just
mean-
And the
take
next
Cheesecake
question
Factory,
out of
they
his
wouldn't let
mouth
you live
should have
that
been,
down.
how many of those
No, I
girlfriends are
have to
married?
protect.
Yes. That's a good one.
But I can't.
Wow.
It does not do that. I mean, that was that was my circle though. That's how
Sure.
I mean. That's how we roll.
Sure.
I mean, to be quite blunt, that's how we roll. Hypergamy is a big thing in my circle. Is what I mean. It's what we've been taught. Why? I mean,
So, if she's a TikTok generation of iPhone generation, which I don't think she is, because she's claiming this is what they've been taught. So I don't know. What do you think, girls?
She has bought into it. That woman, everybody's giving her credit and saying maybe in her late 30s. I'm like, she looks like she's about as old as I am. So her gold digging days, her real gold digging days are over. And what she needs to understand is that, because I would assume neither one of them appear to be Christians. And for her, just straight up being honest, as a person who is not a Christian, her dating pool is much, much wider than those of us who are on the older end of the spectrum who are Christians.
That's right.
Ma'am, when you have a man who is going to respect you, and you knew that he was like inch high private eye compared to you because she's almost 6 feet 1 inch tall. So you knew he was inch high private eye when you agreed to go out with him. But if you have a guy, if you rock that way and you want to, because based on her, he a little man. If you rock that way and you want to do that, and then you're not going to respect the man, because like you guys said, he looked like, and based on culture and tradition, he works hard.
Yes.
He would provide because that is something that is very much so a thing in that culture.
Yes.
He was willing. I'm just gonna say it. He was willing to take you out, little black lady.
See
With
that?
all of the bad rap that black women have,
Right.
and he actually approached you,
Yeah, that's a
and
big
what
deal.
you did is you gave him the attitude that men are saying, this is why I don't deal with black women. Even black men are saying, this is why I don't deal with black
this
women.
creates the passport bro. So be like, you know what?
Yeah.
We're out. We're just gonna go find somebody else someplace else. Yeah.
Yeah. She does.
This is why
She does make black women look bad.
Yes,
But
she's
all
ruining
black
it.
women
I know,
act
right?
like this, though.
I'm like, shoot, I'm trying to get a date, and this chick is hampering my cause.
as a black woman, I'm gonna go there. I mean, as a black woman, we're really tired of having to settle. We want to be treated well. We want that soft life. So that's what I thought I was going after.
Girl,
However, what
stop.
I understand is a part of having a soft life is being cooperative,
Being soft.
not being combative,
You're
right?
actually being soft,
Right,
right? Being
right,
receptive, being
right.
sweet,
Absolutely.
being pleasant, right? Because we do understand the value of resources, but it can't be just something for a lifestyle. Resources, a man's resources is not just for a woman's experiences and traveling and the lifestyle they'll live when married. Is for providing for
Look
the
at her
family
face.
and the
She like,
children. And that's why
yes
she
it
should seek a
is.
man and respect his resources or prioritize his resources, not just for what it can do for her,
Right.
And so when you were in the beginning of it, you was just saying, "I'm not doing." It seemed really selfish,
It
right?
was.
And I appreciated that when I saw the video myself. That's one of the things I covered is wow, I've never seen a woman that receptive to being
Was
accountable,
not
right?
taking
And you were.
accountability, nor was she
But Jay,
receptive. She
however,
was
didn't want
like,
to. He didn't
I'm
want to go out on a date. He
hungry
wanted to just
and
continue
now
that
I'm
date,
not gonna get my
and he
free
wanted to take her
meal.
home to the house.
Lies.
Um,
Lies,
Jay, was that your
lies,
first time
lies.
stopping a date midway through and going on back home, or?
Yeah, something like that's. I'm sorry, at least yeah, that's the first time I've really like put my foot down to that kind of extent.
Apologizing to her.
But it's not like an isolated incident,
Okay.
you know. Like I've gone on dates with several people now, even before her, where they had very specific things they were looking for in a boyfriend or whatever, and even within my own circles, right? And that's just not something that I'm looking for because I was raised like we were talking about how she was raised, whereas with me, like my family, like we've passed down the name for ages, and we're a very close knit, strong family.
You passed down your first name, Jay? Like your
Yes.
father's and father.
Yeah,
How many
yeah.
generations, probably?
I mean, I couldn't really count it myself
Wow.
because I mean the thing is like I'm from India,
Okay.
you know, and the partition happened where like India was separated from Pakistan,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of my family were on both sides of that, and we had to come back together,
Wow.
and we had to. It was very important for us to stay strong after the fact.
Mm-hmm.
At the time, maybe we didn't care as much about creating this legacy, but
Mm-hmm.
ever since, it's like that's been one of the strongest parts of our family. Is
So I think Jay is looking for a wife, but he's looking for a wife in the wrong places.
Yeah, but
Yep.
you know what?
Sister
I
Lisa
wonder
here,
what.
she's just all about having a good time. She wants somebody
Right.
to take her out, expensive restaurant, buy her expensive gifts, show her a good time. She's not looking for a husband. So these two people are going to two different directions. Her values and his values don't even match. Okay?
Right.
So to me, I'm like, Jay, you're putting yourself in this situation, okay? Why can't you find an Indian sister who thinks like you, who shares the same values like you? Then you guys can be on the same page. Because I think he's gone way outside his territory. That's why he's going to be experiencing things like this.
But I wonder why was he coming after her though? Anyway, that's my thing. Like, was
She,
he
no,
really
she
coming
likes
after
the
her?
sister. He likes the sister, I think.
But why? Why was he
See,
coming at? That's my thing. I
in,
wonder what was
Oh,
his
that's a good
intention
one.
for coming after her and to begin. What he was about to wife her? Is that was the plan?
no,
You know what?
he
I
said
bet
that
you.
he saw her and that he thought she was beautiful. He saw other men who looked like they wanted to talk to her but didn't. So he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be a man. I'm gonna go up to her. I think she's a beautiful woman. I'm gonna go up to her and I'm going to speak to her." What he didn't understand is that they understood the repellent. He was thinking they were afraid to go talk to her
Well,
because they're like, "I'm gonna get shot down." And what they were saying as they were avoiding her is, "My 304 DAR is on and I need to give her a wide berth."
see that.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That,
but I don't even think his intentions was to like wife her or nothing like that. I think he was just trying something new, see what was gonna happen. I don't even think that that was not his intentions. I
Well,
don't think he knew
this
that.
is what I would
Right.
say. Just
But
knowing that
yeah.
culture,
Hmm.
he was willing to take the chance to see if she could be wife potential. Because I don't think he's lying when he's saying what I am looking for is somebody who wants to build a strong family. And
Oh yeah, I know.
again,
Oh yeah, he's
when
most likely
you're
looking for that. But I don't think
when
that's what
you're
he was
out
gonna
here,
use her for. I don't
I
think
mean,
so.
but the thing about it is you don't know
Mhm.
until you are in a
you
car
give
and
it a
she locks you
try.
out of your own car.
Right,
Because
right, right,
again, you're having these conversations with people and they can tell you whatever they want to. What he got
right.
to see was her actual behavior. Because I'm sure she's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, yeah." Because I'm sure she's like, yes, I'm looking to start a family. I'm looking for this. Because he probably asked her these questions like, are you wanting to start a family? Do you want kids? Is marriage something that as he's speaking to her? Because I think he said that they spoke for maybe a week or so via
Mm-hmm.
the phone, via
Okay.
text before they actually went out.
Okay, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Her posture, her attitude. Okay. Can't nobody tell me that she all of a sudden did that day. What do I mean by that? Just her demeanor, the way her take on things, how she responds. I'm sure that he noticed some of this before that day. If they were communicating this whole time, she couldn't have been acting like you and me
Mm,
that first week and then turned into that. That doesn't
mm,
even make sense.
see,
You see what I mean?
now I will say this. You have to remember the way that we communicate now. It is now. Now he probably had a very brief conversation with her because I've done this. I've been out and I've had a very brief conversation with people. And I'm not, I don't know that because they don't know that story. I wasn't there when they met, but I've had brief conversations with people and we exchange phone numbers. And now this isn't even an era where you talk on the phone to people like that. We do most of our communicating via text,
Text.
via
Yeah.
Yeah.
emojis, via all
Yeah.
of these things. So
Yeah.
you can easily hide certain behaviors when you're communicating like that. And if
Right.
someone is asking you questions, because generally speaking, it's like if somebody's asking you questions and you're answering those questions, she probably thinks she is looking for a husband. She probably thinks she does want to start a family. She probably thinks she's a catch. So if you're asking
Well,
someone specific questions, like I can see how, especially this day and age, the way we communicate, you can hide that. Again,
hmm
the issue is, and where he should have been like, no, ma'am, this is not going to work, is when I parked outside of your house and you left me there for an hour.
that's my thing. That was a
They live
red
in
flag
Atlanta.
right there.
Jason, if you're
Yeah.
still in the chat, do they have like, because I'm like, when you're in some of these big cities, and I don't know about Atlanta, you can't just be sitting somewhere posted for an hour outside
Mhm.
apartments. I know like in DC and stuff, they have certain ways you park. There's just lots of things that go on with how you park. And you had this man posted outside your house for an hour and
Yeah.
just left him there. One, I'd have called the cops on somebody sitting outside somebody's house for an hour personally. But I'm
Yeah.
just saying, it's
Was
one of those things where I can very really see how in this day and age she could have hidden this type of behavior from him. And he
wow.
saw it when they actually got to interact in person.
I see.
Possibility. Yeah, it's a possibility.
The importance in creating a legacy. And with that in mind, like I've grown up with the idea that I want a strong family here now that I'm living in America. The only kind of relationships I seek are ones where that is the only value. That is the biggest value. That is the most important thing for the other person as well as for me.
Wow. That's actually powerful. So your family going through all
It's
that
not
they
powerful.
did, it caused you guys to really
He just
idealize
stated truth.
relationships, right? And
Specifically, relationships that last.
absolutely, absolutely. And so here you are in America dating, and mostly in our culture, where you said earlier you were a black woman. Of course, we have been through some things, right? In our culture here in the States and throughout the
Lies.
whole diaspora. I like using that word, but a lot of times our culture has
Zamunda,
been
no.
stripped, and
Stop
we
it.
haven't yet began to idealize relationships. So we're more so going along with the flow.
Stop it,
So here he is in
Zamunda.
America, and he's meeting a woman who is in America, and she sees
He
dating the way
is
Americans
capping
see
for this
dating.
lady.
And so I
No.
can see the clash in that.
Yeah.
He's looking at you as if that's selfish. You're looking at him as if he's treating you beneath your worth, your actual value. So here's what I want to do, guys. I want to go back a bit. Can y'all tell me how y'all met? I want you to tell me how you guys met.
So I was in Midtown, and like I barely even have time to go out with friends and all that. But it was a really close friend's birthday, so I went to get some drinks for the first time in ages, and I saw this beautiful woman, who it seemed like every other guy in the bar was either intimidated by or too shy to talk to.
They weren't intimidated.
And
They had
I
304 door up.
what the hell? Why not? And she was, minding her own business. And I asked her, her name, Alicia, and I thought that's a beautiful name. And even despite how loud it was in the bar, we were still able to talk a little here and there. And I got her number, and she had to go. And so we kept talking after that for a little bit, and then like a week later, I asked her, "You want to go out? I mean, to this restaurant?"
Yeah.
and I told her it would be a surprise. And maybe that might be a problem on my part. You know, it might have raised the expectations a little bit, but I guess the surprise ended up being Cheesecake Factory, where
Right.
the original surprise was
I want to get to that. You had something else planned for her, right?
Yeah.
Because of how the evening went, the Cheesecake Factory happened, right?
yeah.
So
Can I just say before
Sure.
I love the Cheesecake Factory, and it's a place that I've gone to for like every birthday. So like it wasn't just like a random restaurant to me. It was also like a place that I've gone with my family throughout my entire life, and I love Cheesecake Factory.
so you didn't. So obviously the because you guys
And
were
she
late,
still
wasn't
didn't
ready.
look
You weren't
remorseful.
able to take
After
her to
this
the
man had
restaurant
been
that
like,
wanted to
"You
take her to.
crushed
said,
my
I came to
birthday
Raw
place."
Cheesecake Factory, right?
Yeah.
Small birthday restaurant, you know.
It's my lucky.
She'll love it.
And that's the lucky spot too. Apparently.
Lucky spot. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll come back to that. Well, no, I'm kidding with you.
Okay.
Alicia.
Yeah.
So Jay, you see Jay walking up to you in the bar, say Midtown. He's walking up to you. He's going to talk with you. There are other guys around you. Did you notice those guys probably want to talk to you? Did you see that? And
Yes, I did.
so what made you say?
Thought
Okay, I'm gonna
everybody in
give
that
this
bar
guy
wanted to
a
talk to
chance.
her.
What was it about him?
Well, he was bold enough to come up and talk to me for one.
Confidence, okay.
So yes, I definitely am attracted to confidence. He just seemed like he had a
'Cause
pure heart.
he's
He was,
crazy.
very thoughtful, engaging. I mean, the only he won me over. He did win me over, but I'm a tall woman, and so there wasn't necessarily like that immediate attraction. But as we began to talk, it was really his heart that made me say, I'll give this guy a try.
Okay.
And
Is that where you draw your
then
line?
you
Is it
crushed
typically
it.
you don't date guys who are you guys have to be at least your height or taller before you would date them?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand that.
So maybe I do believe her on that point because she's definitely taller than him. That alone, usually women who are taller, if a guy is short, they don't even bother. It'll be like, no, if
Right.
you were a little bit taller. So they don't even give them even a chance or a minute. So the fact
Right.
that she was willing to even entertain him a little bit, because they just met at the bar. Okay, so you don't know what car he's driving. You know what I mean? Okay, you can just say, okay, he has confidence. He spoke to me. He's going to surprise me, take me to a nice restaurant. So she did entertain him. I do think like, okay, so I guess she was a little bit willing to see where that would go. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Well, you know what? I
Go
don't
ahead.
know why. I would say now. I'm not trying to sound like this lady, but I don't know why he said that it was a surprise. I don't know why he did that. Why did he say it would be a surprise? Because you know, it- I guess literally Cheesecake Factory wouldn't, I guess, be like a surprise. So I don't know why he said it was a surprise. That was interesting. But at any rate, she should not have went along and talked to him if she was not attracted to him. I think we mess up when we do that. I've been guilty of talking to someone that I was not attracted to, and then I had to be honest about it. You see what I mean? I had to go ahead and be honest about it. So you don't, because you're being dishonest to a degree.
Okay,
You
you're
don't
giving a
really
false
like
promise, false hopes
right.
to the
So
guy,
that so
but
she
you
shouldn't have,
know nothing is going
yeah,
to
she shouldn't have
happen.
done that. She should not
That's a
have
good
done that.
point.
Yeah. So
That's a good point. Mm.
That probably makes it difficult finding someone suitable for yourself. You are what 6'1",
I'm almost 6'1", yes.
almost 6'1". Wow.
oh
So that means, let's see, 14.5% of men are at least 6 feet, right? But that next 2 inches for you to find someone taller than you, that's 3.6% of men in the entire world that are tall enough that are they're at least 6'2".
I know.
Is that discouraging?
I mean, I only need one. I only need to
You need one, but he needs to be that height. He needs to make the resources, right?
Yeah.
He needs to be funny. He needs to be charismatic. He needs to be disciplined. And that doesn't discourage you? Like,
I'm an optimist. But no.
that I like it.
Yeah,
I like
but no, I mean,
An optimist.
logically speaking, I understand what you're saying. I've heard this many times, but I haven't given up on, I hadn't given up on that. But I'm actually open. I really enjoyed our conversation, so I would consider.
Well, sure. And I was going to
Nope.
commend you for that. I didn't
Don't
see it as
do
a,
it.
I know you're saying that they have to be that height, but it seems that you are willing to, make an exception. Just like you did for Jay here when he walked up and he had the confidence of a 6'2" man. You were willing to at least hear what he had to say, and that's a good thing. because it may not be the cookie cutter thing that you plan out. So if we're going to look for a happy relationship, a harmonic one that gives our children and our lineage what they need for years and generations to come, right? We may have to make an exception or two, right?
Yeah. Sometimes it's not what we want, it's what we need. And we have to
Yeah.
be more open to what we need.
That's absolutely true. I was going to say, when it
Well,
comes to
you
how we
needed the
date, I think a lot
Cheesecake
of it is just
Factory
the
at that
information
moment,
that we
ma'am,
have,
because
right?
you
So
were
what I noticed
hungry
from
and you didn't
yours
take it. So
and Alicia's conversation, Jay,
lies.
is that you had a different view of altogether of what dating should look like leading up to a relationship, and she had a different view. And
And
now,
like, what I should say is, I mean, at the very end of the day, like, I understand dating in America is different from where my family's from, and in a way, like, it's perfectly fine to have those views and to think of dating
No, it's
differently.
not.
I just think, for me, I have a very specific criteria, and it's not a long list of criteria, but it's just certain values that I
sure. Well, I think a lot like you. That's why the
Yeah.
video stood out to me. I believe relationships should be harmonic. They should be for a reason. So I believe in dating with intent, right?
Yeah.
But many people in our generation today, they see dating as something that's just fun. They don't see it as a way to establish a healthy relationship. And that's what I was going to say. There's almost
And in
little
our
to no
generation,
understanding
he is
as to
acting
what
like
dating
he's
should
young.
look
That
like
man
when you're
is
trying to
probably so
establish a
old enough to
intent for
be
a meaningful
somebody's
relationship. And I
uncle.
think that's
Stop
the
it.
biggest problem. It's not so much that people are necessarily selfish or entitled. It's more so that they don't know what they're looking for, right?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Oftentimes we think we know, but we really don't.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when he asked you the question, you expect men to go all out on a date, huh? You said absolutely. If he likes her, he should present that, right?
Yes.
He should lead and be masculine. He should be willing to pay for the meal, show up on time, open doors for her, the whole nine. But when he asked you, what does a woman expect you to do?
Show
You
up on
said,
time.
look good, be there, and that's where the right.
Disconnect was. Yeah.
Absolutely, because there should be things that a woman should do, right? So, if you thought about that, could you tell me some of what you think now? If he would have asked you that question today,
Sure. If you think about, if watching the video, it's like, how do you expect this person to keep giving, and you're not giving anything back? So now we're depleted,
absolutely.
and so who's going to pour into him?
Wow.
So I mean, if you truly do want that type of protection provider, there has to be some balance.
Absolutely.
So
Wow. That's very powerful. I actually took the liberty.
She does not believe that. She does not believe that at all.
You think she's just
She
playing?
is on this show. She's on this show acting a plum fool. She does not believe that at all because she goes on to be like, yes, no, I couldn't have gone into the factory. No, lies. She doesn't believe that. She thinks she needs to say that to save face now because unlike him, she has seen the backlash to her. And she is like, man, now my face is out here in these ATL
Okay, so
streets,
let me.
and
Okay,
I'm
so
not
she's
gonna be able to get.
okay. Clean up
Right.
I'm not
Ayo
gonna be able to
Alisa
get
right
these free
now.
meals anymore. She
Right,
lying.
right.
She is
I'm looking it
lying.
up now. Yeah. It's unfortunate that she behaved that way. And like I said, it makes black. I really, to be honest with you, I hate when these things happen
Yeah.
because it makes black women look bad. And all black women don't do this. We don't behave this way. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that right now. So I know these incidents have been happening, but all black women do not behave this way. All right, they just don't. And this is just another picture of the world. This is what the world has their set of standards. Of course, us believers, we go by these standards, which the standards that she presented here are actually beneath what she should have been expecting. You see what I mean? That's what she's talking about, to go somewhere that's better than Cheesecake Factory or what have you. That's not even a good standard. You know that means nothing of itself. So, but
Now, Jarena, I get the whole standard thing, but I'm
Mhm.
just saying, this is the first time I met you. We're just doing we're doing. They've had a conversation
But
over the week.
guys, remember this guy promised this girl. Remember? He did
Well-
promise her at the date that, okay, I'm going to take you out. It's going to be a surprise.
Well, that was,
And
I said
he
that
was
earlier. That's
delivering
the
on
problem.
that.
He should have now, I will say this: he should not have called Cheesecake Factory a surprise. I don't know where that came from.
He
okay?
didn't.
Remember,
that wasn't the
Cheesecake
surprise.
wasn't
Aria
declined.
was a surprise. She was
Yeah.
an hour late and they missed their reservation. So
Yes.
Cheesecake
Oh,
Factory was
Cheesecake
the
was-
backup
yes.
plan.
Yes.
Okay, I forgot about that part.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
now that's right. That's right. Okay, so
Yeah.
see, yeah, she's just
So in her mind, when the guy was going to Cheesecake Factory, so now you can understand where she was coming from. You told me you're going to surprise. So you mean the surprise
Right.
was Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah, but
So I guess she was just like,
No.
dude, like you lied to me. Unbeknownst to her,
Nope.
the 1 hour you made him wait on the parking lot costed you a fancy restaurant.
yeah, but she still shouldn't have behaved that
Ah,
way. That's the
yes,
thing. She
yes.
still should not have behaved that way. It was just so ratchet. It's just not a, it's not a good look at all. Not a good look. So,
And here's what I would say to Jarena, because you were saying she makes black women look bad, and we don't all
no,
behave that way. We don't. But
no.
the unfortunate thing is, we have to be honest. Most of us do. There's a reason
The
people like to get
stereotypical.
on stereotypes and talk about how they we shouldn't have them, and don't stereotype me. Stereotypes are stereotypes for a reason. There is a precedent that has been set for them, and unfortunately, a good number of us behave like this. And as we've told our kiddos, it messes it up for the rest of us.
That
But we
is
have to
true.
own that, yes, we do behave like this. So now women who don't behave like this have to work
Ah,
harder
yeah.
and have an uphill battle to climb
Yes.
because they don't behave like that. But the truth is, most of us do. And it's why I don't like y'all.
But but I want to encourage men to still be men, and you
Y-
assess and you examine women
yes.
individually. Don't
Yes.
be putting
Yeah.
people in these groups. Don't do that,
Yes.
because you
Yeah.
guys don't want us to do y'all like that, okay?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
the last I heard, that so-called black men are this and that. You see what I mean? So
Yes.
we
Yeah.
don't want to do that. We want to assess everyone as an individual, and be
Mm.
sure that you're being the man, and be sure you're being a woman. You see,
Amen.
that's all we got to do. So,
Amen.
Agree with that, but that's why I now identify as an Asian woman of the Tiger Mom variety, because I have to disassociate myself from this mess.
Ah,
To
cute.
make a list of things that men and women should look for in each other on a date, right? I'm gonna read them to you. I want you guys to tell me what you think of it in, okay? Let's start with what you're looking for in a man, okay? So what a woman looks for in a man is respect and courtesy. Would you say I'm wrong? Confidence, right?
Yep.
Communication skills, knowing what
Absolutely.
he wants, where he's going with it, right?
Yes.
Initiative, taking the initiative. Chivalry,
Yes.
okay? Resilience,
Yes.
right? So even when you're being a little bit, hard to get, he can push past that, right? Resilience. Generosity,
Yes.
okay? So here are the behaviors that look good to a man when he's looking for a woman. I'm going to ask you the same questions. You tell me if you like the sound of that. Men are looking for kindness, right? You want her to be really kind, really sweet, right? Pleasant. So what about active listening?
Yeah.
And you said when she got in the car, she was putting the makeup on and she wasn't really responding to you or responsive to you.
Yeah.
You took from that she didn't like you much,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, he should have put her
Encouragement.
out then.
And,
Yes,
and
please.
you said that, being able to pour back into him, right? Positivity, right? So not being negative, having a smile on your face, right? Respect for independence,
Yeah.
okay? Adaptability, okay? There was this time where you wanted her to hold your arm,
Yeah.
right? And walk you so you could walk her to the car, and she didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
You expressed to her that you didn't like that. And that made you feel like, of course, when her not being on your arm, how can you truly protect her, right? But also her not doing that says she ain't really feeling me like that.
Yeah.
She don't really like me like that.
And
Yeah.
I get, it was a first date. Maybe she's not at that stage yet. But
I get that too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Question. Let's just say you're out with him, right? You're on a date with a guy, and some guy comes up, takes your purse. Do you want your date to have your back?
Yeah.
So,
He has to protect me.
and even if he's not ready for that yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he shouldn't even ask you on a date if he's not going to protect you if something were to happen to you. This is why you should take his arm. You see, so it may feel like I'm giving this guy too much of me, but it's more like I'm being cooperative to the roles that we're playing. He's going to protect me if something happens right now, and so I'm going to stand close to him. This lets the people on the outside looking in know that I'm with this man. He is taking care of me. We're out together, right? So
It's like, it kind of shows that you trust,
absolutely.
I think. I felt like
Trust is a big
What
It's
women get out of a date is a free bodyguard. Because if anything goes wrong with her, he has to really put his life on the line for her. So if a man asks you out on a date, you shouldn't say, I'm not ready to hold your hand. I know that seems like a move forward in a relationship, so to speak, but it's actually just part of a date. Your goal is to give him an example of what it would look like if you were his partner, and his goal is to do the same. So to a man, you not doing those things makes it appear that you're not that interested.
It's definitely not ready to be a partner, I guess.
It also kills his ability to be completely masculine for you on that date, because if you won't take his arm, then,
I feel like when you just said like
Now,
trust
there's
is
a
a big
difference
word,
between
it is a big
holding a
word,
hand and
but
taking an arm. There is a difference.
right, right.
maybe
There's a
the way I
difference
saw it
between
is
holding a hand and
when you
taking an arm.
wanted to go out with me at all, that was you trusting me,
You're right.
and it did kind of hurt a little bit. I mean, again,
Man,
I
don't ever
respect
say that.
boundaries, but it did still at the same time hurt my feelings if you didn't trust me.
And of course, as men, we're going to try to be receptive to that and understand where you're coming from. But it does kind
Here
of
we
limit his
go.
ability to
Here we
do his
go.
full, be his full masculine self in
Yeah.
that capacity, right?
Yeah.
The last thing I had here was intellectual stimulation,
Mhm.
right? So we like when a woman can respond back and be attentive, right?
Yeah.
Have a good conversation, right? We look for that in women. And I definitely think she appeared to have that. You guys started off on it was a little difficult conversation, but it seems like she understood you. She was
Yeah.
receptive to what you were saying. Is that typical for you?
Well, typically, a lot of the girls that I met, as I said, like they're literally only trying to date to date or to like have. I don't know. I'm
Don't
not
this
allowed
is
to use the word.
this
Fuck.
don't this the word. You want to pause it? Yeah. I was like, this is the word that good Christian people don't like to hear. So the next
Oh
thing
my
he was about to say was a word good Christian people don't like to hear. So
Okay. So I don't know what he said. So
he
with
was gonna say FWB, but he was gonna say it with
oh
the actual 4-letter word. So
oh okay, that's good. Okay, so I
yeah.
can just forward it a
Mhm.
little bit. Okay,
Mhm.
okay. Thanks for the lookout cue.
So he
So
was saying that that's what women normally want him for. Was he
Saying
trying to
that
say that?
that is the way that women tend to be dating these days. Like he's coming at it, whereas I want to get to know you, build a family, see if we can build a family. I'm looking for something long term, but a lot of
mhm.
women today, and it's true, they're
Those women.
looking for
I,
the
I
BUDDYs.
don't, I don't know if a lot of women are looking for that, like overall. Here's what has probably happened. The women that he has come in contact with didn't really want him. So they used him for that. That's
No,
probably
ma'am,
what
that
happened.
it's an epidemic. It really isn't. That is what we are in a hookup culture.
Really?
We can pretend like we're back in the day when that wasn't the case. It just is. Women are looking
Things
to
have
see what they can
changed.
get from you and see what they can get from men, and they will
So
hook up
most
with you.
women are looking just to hook up with somebody, just to sleep with
Yes,
them and get a
ma'am.
meal and get
Yes,
that's it.
ma'am. Absolutely.
I think some people
Absolutely.
just want them pour into them, have a good time, show them a good time, buy them expensive things, and they will just go their way. Or it's just friends with benefits as they call it, right? But
Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
think that,
um,
but that's when somebody doesn't want you. See, that's the thing.
No, ma'am.
When people do that, that individual that they're doing that with, they don't want that person. So of course
No,
they're using
but
that
they do
person
that.
what
They
they
do
can
that
get
with
from them.
multiple individuals because they don't want the individuals themselves. We are in a society where women are liberated, and that is empowering. What that is called is
oh,
you
I see.
taking control of your own
Okay.
sexuality. It is the culture we live
Oh,
in.
that's why they
It's
even
true.
celebrating this body count thing, so they feel
Yes.
like
Yes.
they like
Absolutely.
they've
Yeah,
arrived.
I did hear about that before. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Wow. Well, I guess we're
Terrible,
so
Absolutely.
old then.
terrible, 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 terrible.
And maybe sometimes it feels like uh, it's something that'll take more time to get her to open up or something
Sure.
like that. Where at the end of the day, they don't want a second date because we haven't gotten to know each other. And that to me sounds so irritating because you didn't want to get to know, we didn't get to know each other because they wouldn't want to talk.
Absolutely.
So it's like,
I completely understand. So as a man dating with intent, you're ending up in these situations where a lot of times you're in hookup culture, and so you're not getting a second date out of it. Meanwhile, here you are, you have spent your money, you spent time with this person who you're never going to likely see again.
Yeah.
Right. Women oftentimes are looking at dates as what they can get out of them, right? And experience, right? Take me to a nice restaurant. I want the ambiance. I want the treatment, right? And with no intent of doing anything special for the guy after the date. So it's almost like it's almost like she's getting over on him, right? Like she's using him for meals. And that's what men say. I'm not going to keep taking these women out if they don't like me. Don't go out if you don't like me, because then it wouldn't end up where he's on the outside looking into the thing. What do women say oftentimes when he's upset? I took you to this restaurant, I did that, and now you don't want to get close to me, you're not ready. And she's like, well, you wanted to do it.
Well, see,
She will let
this
him
is
spend,
just why.
spend, and spend,
Well,
knowing
yeah.
she's not interested in this man. Now, do you feel that that's wrong?
No, I don't like users. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I do think I think that we're all adults and there's enough of every type out here to where that's not even necessary. Like there are men that really will just spend money on you.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a certain type. There's things that go with that, but there are, men that'll just spend money on you and are okay
Then
with
why
that.
didn't she
Mhm.
find herself one?
But I do
What do
think,
you
Right.
what do you take from that type of
Exactly.
man? If you don't mind me asking, we
Feel
call
like
that
and
a simp.
Mm.
And we call it a simp when a man is willing to buy you anything, take you anywhere, and you haven't actually earned that from him with your affection or just being there for him in general. How do you see that?
if women are being really honest, I don't think most women actually respect a man that is like that. And I think there's two different types. There's the ones that will spend money on and they're objectifying the woman and she's just like a toy for them.
Right.
And then there's the ones that really are
Trying to buy his way in,
Yeah.
just trying his best to earn any type of affection from her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of those men, there's a lot of those women who allow that to happen, right? So that's why I take what Jay doing here as being something that is great for men everywhere. Okay. He knew his worth. You are a beautiful woman, but he said, you know what? I'm just gonna take her home. I don't have to do this. Even to the point when you said, I will go eat with you at Cheesecake Factory. He saw it as, I would have set aside the
Well,
date,
she didn't
right,
say
us being
she'd go
late
eat
to
at the
that
Cheesecake
reservation. You're not
Factory.
holding
She
my
asked
hand,
him
you're
if he
not
could
talking to me in
find
the car.
somebody else,
But
something
it
to
seems
call.
that you pulling out that camera really got to him. Do you mind telling me what you probably took by that? You're just on a date and all of a sudden now she's recording you.
A lot of times, yeah, if I'm the one asking a girl out, that's me already offering to pay for the meal, right? That's me already being okay with that, right? But her recording me did feel like that's where I felt like she was trying to take advantage. She was trying to and maybe you had a different view on it.
Locked
But it
you
felt
out
like
of
at
your
the time
car,
that
man.
you were just trying to get food, like a free meal from a fancy restaurant, and then you get content from me too to post on.
Yeah. So, but you see, I know like before, I think this lady likes to show her goods. She's wearing a shirt that has got button, but all these are not button all the way up to here. So she's lucky that the angle of camera is like this, you cannot see. But this guy, boom. I'm like, sweetheart, button yourself up. So,
Right.
But she is far more clothed than she was when she
yes, I
when she went out
agree.
on the date, because she's not trying to advertise right now. Again, she's doing damage control. She is in Jada Pinkett Smith mode right
I
now.
mean, the way she's behaving right now,
Right.
it's like
Right.
it's two different people. Like from
Yeah,
like
she's flipping
she
it.
was
Yes.
quiet.
Yes.
Not even
Yeah.
one time did she interrupt the guy speaking. She's only
Yeah.
speaking when it's her turn to speak. She did not interrupt. Nothing. She's out there, like like
Yeah.
very remorseful. So she
Right.
played the game
she's
real
not
good over
she's
She's
here.
getting some
okay.
backlash.
She's not
That's why.
remorseful. She is in damage control. She is doing
Yeah,
the
that's
Jada
it.
Pinkett
That's
Smith.
it. That's it.
She
Yeah.
is
Play the
on the
game.
apology tour.
Right.
Yes.
Because again, unlike him, because apparently he didn't see people going, "Hey, way to go," giving him high fives online, but she
Yeah.
has seen that.
Oh, that's why
Probably
she'd be
because
like
he's working too hard. He doesn't have time to dig into
to
all
see
of
that.
this.
Yeah, because
See that.
But she's a content creator apparently, so she's seen all of these things. She's seen all the videos made by her. She's seen
okay,
how she's a laughing stock, and
okay,
she is out here in these
okay,
ATL streets, and she still
okay.
needs some free meals,
So she has to.
and so
Well,
she's on the apology tour.
I see.
hopefully she's gonna make some changes though after this. That would be good.
She's not.
On
I mean, look,
YouTube, Facebook.
even here, she's
And you
she's
get your
not.
reputation ran through the mud. So
Yeah.
it's all be done at your expense, right?
Mhm.
Now that wasn't your take. You have many groups where you encourage women on dating. Y'all talk about dating, and this was something that you said. Look, y'all see
She
a lot of
giving
dates
advice
go
too.
wrong.
Right.
So based on your mindset, you really felt like he was taking you somewhere beneath your value,
Yeah.
and you were saying, I'm going to show the world how you're treating me, right? Can you tell us a bit about that so he knows that it wasn't to embarrass you, it wasn't to
No.
get content, any of that. It was I felt
was.
wronged in that scenario. You mind?
No, I did. I felt like you didn't see my value. And in that moment, I felt like I needed the support of my viewers in that moment. But and not only that, like he said, I discuss relationships and things like that. So I thought that was a good opportunity for me to kind of have that conversation and see, like, what does everybody else think? I wasn't really taking your feelings into consideration. I wasn't trying to be necessarily malicious or anything like that.
I understand.
Good. I'm gonna say this, guys, to end this video, okay? In a world with hookup culture, not having much understanding on relationships based on how we're raised, and then you got social media with the instant gratification and making it so easily to meet people and replace people. Dating it's like a thing that's lost to us. I want to ask these two beautiful people here a question. They had one date that went bad. They have not went on a date since that day. Right?
Don't do it,
Now,
Jay.
would you guys be open
Gonna do what?
to another date?
Don't do it.
knowing what you know now?
I think
No.
if we were able to find a way to get our values more in the
No.
center, um, I could see us trying again.
You are a
I mean, I
fool.
No,
would be willing to go out on
baby.
a date again.
Wow, that's
You
awesome.
need to go
That's
talk to
awesome.
your
Well, listen,
mama
we're
and
gonna keep
daddy
up with this
and
first date.
no.
Actually, we're gonna take care of this first date. It's gonna be on us. So we're gonna send you somewhere, just like they used to do on all those other talk shows. We're
Mm-mm.
gonna take care of it, and then we'll
No.
reach back to you guys in a couple of weeks and find out how that's going. How does that sound?
I was one.
I'd
Sounds
love to see what
great.
you guys are up to.
Don't do
As
it,
long as it's not
Jay.
the cheesecake now.
Oh,
She
See?
is funny, man.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
it. All right.
She's not
Guys,
being funny. She being straight serious. Up, look, the girls did pop out right there at the end. He should not do that. He should not do that at all.
Yeah. I think they
Yeah.
shouldn't. Like, I mean, he was the first one to say. So, which means they're gonna go for a second date. She's willing to go for a second date. At least this time around, someone else is
N-
sponsoring the date.
Hmm.
Mm-mm.
I
See,
don't
now
know.
I'm hoping it was kind of like the. I'm hoping it's kind of like The Bachelor. You know, they give you the rose and you accept the rose because you're on TV, and then you be like, I'm not going out with you again. So I hope it's
Yeah,
one of
at
those
this
things.
point, Jay is to blame, honestly. This woman has shown you what she's
Absolutely,
made of and everything.
Right.
At
Right.
this point, to be
absolutely.
like, you know what? No, thank you. What's the point? Because I don't want to, I'll be leading you somewhere else. At this point,
Hmm.
sweetheart, I'm sorry, I'm moving on.
Right. Right.
Yep.
Because
Right.
there's no way you can
And
tell
this,
me
See,
this lady has changed. If she has changed right now, it's
she
because of
hasn't.
the backlash. Yeah.
Yep.
and
Now,
then
see, the
Has to
maybe.
thing is,
change.
so
Mhm.
so it's like we have her, and then you got the other
Take her
clip
to
ready.
Popeyes. Yes, yeah, we
I
have
just had Popeyes today.
I don't like
But
Popeyes.
ah, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Jason doesn't like Popeyes either.
Yeah. No, you know,
He has a
cheesecake. I like
story. Ask
cheesecake,
him
not
about
Popeyes.
it sometime.
Yeah.
See that.
So,
But so it's like you had her on the dating scene. I'm assuming she's never been married. I'm assuming she doesn't have kids. That is an assumption. I mean, she could, but they never mentioned any of those things. So I'm assuming she's the never been married, didn't have a date, and then I sent you the other lady where she's on the extreme opposite end,
yeah,
trying to
this
hop back
one,
into the dating pool.
yeah, I don't know about this one. Okay. So, anything, Jarena, before we move on?
One thing I think the men out there should realize that you don't have to take people out to buy dinner all the time. You can go hiking, you can go out to the park, you can go do something else to where you can talk and be, that way you won't feel
Yeah.
like you're being used. Because remember they mentioned that. So,
Yeah.
men can start doing that. You don't have to always go out to eat. You can
What
do other
about the
stuff.
host? I felt like the host was carrying water for the girl. Like he
He
didn't,
was.
he did not call her out. Like in a
Yeah.
way,
Hmm.
obviously this is on your show, but
Hmm.
he didn't speak to her like, sister, you were wrong in the way you handled this. I mean, he did good for a show where he made it so inviting for both of them and everything, but I guess, if she was me on my show, I'd just be like, sweetheart, I'll just
He
like, forget about it. Like,
Well, I
the
think he's
thing
trying to
is,
cater to the mass because remember, there's a lot of women, and black women in the world. So he probably is trying to stay in a neutral spot so he won't lose. You see what I mean? Viewers and
yeah, I
stuff.
think so.
That's
But
and no,
not
but
everything
that's
is
the thing. I
neutral,
think, but you notice because you have to listen. He was talking about the diaspora and how black
What
people have lost their culture.
is
We still trying to figure it out.
he
He
always
he
do
was like,
that. It
we don't
always
even know
goes
what we
back to
want in
race.
a relationship because basically slavery stripped everything
Right.
from us. My
Stop
sister,
it. Stop it.
you
Stop
see
it.
how that
Exactly.
was.
Right. Right.
We
They
were
always
so
bring it back to
oppressed,
that.
but this young
She was
black
oppressed, and that's
lady
why she
doesn't
liked the
even
food.
know
He
how
was
she
oppressed.
should be
Yeah,
treated or what she
yeah.
should be. He was definitely carrying water for her, and he was doing the whole
Yes.
little "you my sister, power to the people" junk, and he should have been like. He was doing the whole oh like Jay you were the Giga Chad, which he wasn't because the Giga Chad would never have agreed to go out with her again. He still was simping, but he was trying to be like, I'm staying in the Black Power diaspora lane. I like that word. No, she was a whole fool. He should have
Oh,
told her she
oh
was a
my
whole fool,
God.
Right.
and
Right.
Oh.
we should have just left it at that.
Right. See.
Okay.
Old woman.
Hmm.
I don't think any of us do. You need to cleave away from your husband, cleave away from your children. Well, I did it. Here I am. And my very handsome boyfriend is making me dinner. The last few days have been super traumatizing for me. I don't know. Things aren't going that great. I'm going to go and have dinner with these
Another
people
family.
and their children.
Yep.
Instead of being at home with my own.
Put up YouTube ahí en your hoes. Mediocre to
So that lady, she was married for 30 years, and she decided that she was gonna be free. She's gonna free herself. So that's what she did. She freed herself. So they were just showing some clips, and you know, not sure about this guy's language. So just keep that in mind, guys. Okay,
On
this one
this
to
one,
me.
he didn't
Uh-huh.
use too much bad language, I don't believe, because I've
Okay,
watched the whole thing.
okay, okay. All right, so we can play. They okay. Let's play.
tutorials and reviews back in here with one more video. Guys, do I have a doozy of a video for you here today? What we're going to watch is a testament to the wall. It's also a testament to the propaganda, to the media engine that convinces women that they are more valuable than what they really are. What we're gonna watch here today is an older married woman choosing to divorce, choosing to get back on the market, choosing to compete with her younger counterparts, her younger competition, and after about a year, regrets it. Without further ado,
Good morning.
morning.
Do you want to become a miserable old woman? I don't think any of us do. But women, you know, you've seen those women out there. The women that are nattering and nagging their husbands, that are bitchy, that aren't nice, that are seem to be so unhappy, and we think, oh God, I hope I'm never one of those miserable old women. And you know how that happens? That happens from raising a family, working, and then all of a sudden we're in our 50s and 60s and we have nothing. We don't have a life. We don't have a life separate from our family or separate from our husband. And so we resent everybody. So you know what you need to do? You need to get your own life. You need to cleave away from your husband, cleave away from your children. You're not just the grandma. You're not just the wife. You may have a marriage that's good, but you're still unhappy and you're still miserable. And you may not want a divorce, and you shouldn't have to. You should be able to find something that fills you up, that you can do to make you feel like you've lived your life. Our lives are short. There's not a lot of time left. What if next year, what if this is the last year of your life? Would you still live it the same way you're living it now? I don't think so. So let's think about that. Let's find a way to do it so that we can live every day and enjoy our marriages if we have good ones, and be separate people from our husbands and from our children. Women need to get unstuck. They need to find a path and see what's out there for them. There's so much more out there for us.
Women are women's worst.
Okay. All right, ladies. What is your take with what she has just shared?
Jarena, you look
Look,
like you
look
want
at-
to say
I,
something.
I can't even believe what just happened. I don't even know what's. That was wild. That was wild. My thing is this: what defines living, like a woman living all that they can be? What defines that? See, we have to go back to the foundational points here. And that lady, why does she feel like being a wife, having children, all that? Why does she feel like that's being stuck? What makes her feel that way? Do you see what I mean? What we think living is disordered, right? It's inordinate what we think really living is. So that's the problem. And it's unfortunate that people look at their life. Now let me just say this. There is a such thing as people being in miserable marriages. So I'm not gonna sit here and play this game. Like that doesn't exist. That there are situations like that. So I get it. But this idea that somehow you're stuck just because you're a wife, you're a mother, like I don't understand why society is calling it that. You see what I mean?
Mm.
That's a disordered thinking. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Ism. It's feminism. We have been bathed and we have
mhm,
been soaked, dunked, glazed,
mhm,
however you want to talk about it, in feminism. Now,
right.
it's one of those things where I think personally, my own deal, I think marriage is a common grace of God, because I've seen
Yep.
people who are not Christians who have amazing marriages, and the lady, they would never leave. It would be like you would have to rip them apart, and they do the same thing. So I think marriage is a common grace that God gives, because we are, even in our fallen state, still made in his image, is marred, but
Mm-hmm.
we're made in his image. So I think marriage is a common grace, but we have bought into the lie that
Mm-hmm.
everything is about us, and taking it to scripture in that sense. And people used to have this understanding societally that other people matter more than you. It doesn't
Mm.
mean that you don't take care of yourself. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that you don't have value or worth or anything like that. But we put pride at some point in sacrificing
Mm-hmm.
for other people,
Mm-hmm.
for our kids, for our families. Women took pride in the fact that when their husbands came home and their kids came home, they had a good meal, that
Mm-hmm.
that the laundry was done, that their
Mm.
kids had clothes that were washed. And now that has been turned into something that is like, why should I ever have to do that? Why should I have to take care of anybody but myself, honestly? And if he happens to make me feel a certain way, then yeah, I'll be kind to him. I'll do things for him. But that's not how it's supposed to be. It's not the way it's
Mm-hmm.
set up. It's not the way we operate in
Right.
any other part of our
Mm.
lives. And the
Right.
sad part
It's
about it
distorted.
is as people in general, men, women, but women, it's a whole little thing. I saw V put in there talking about the hopium that April was talking about,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
is
Mm-hmm.
that we have allowed ourselves to be fooled, like Eve in the garden,
Yep.
thinking
Yes.
that what we don't have is better than what we have.
Yes.
That's it. That's it. That's
And
Yes.
it.
now we have all of these people out here who just losing their ever loving minds. And as we will see as we go on in this video, we'll see how that turned out for her.
Here we go.
And when the kids move away. Anyway, I hope that helps. Well, I did it. Here I am on my new bed, my princess bed. And it rained all day yesterday when I moved.
That was God. God's grace, that is.
But today I woke up, and you know what? I felt free.
Liar.
I felt so excited for the first time in years. Just like a weight had been lifted off me. And I feel amazing. I'm so excited. My place is a mess. I haven't unpacked everything because, of course, you can't. And it's so small. There's nowhere. Like, I have to organize like crazy. But I feel really grateful. So it's been a couple of weeks. I've been moving and moving and moving. And now I'm finally all settled in to my new apartment. I'll do a little tour tomorrow. But it's just a short hello. And my very handsome boyfriend is making me dinner.
One eternity later.
So, this woman, she thinks now she's free. She's living by herself. She's got her apartment. And then the next minute, she already has a boyfriend. I do think the boyfriend was already there, to be quite honest. Because there's no way you can just leave your
Oh,
husband and then the
absolutely.
next minute you have a boyfriend, you have an apartment, and the boyfriend is already making
Especially
you
at her
breakfast
age.
and cooking for you. Go ahead.
Especially at her age, she is not a 22-year-old woman who could go out to the club and pick somebody up in a week. She is somebody's grandma.
Must be
She had that man already.
I believe so. I believe so. I believe that she
Shame.
had the man
Shame.
already.
Shame.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jerena.
Oh no, it's just it's a mess. You know, what Q said it all just a little bit ago. You know, basically people they don't value, you know, that raising children and being a mother, being a wife, you know, they don't value that. They're so everybody's so self-absorbed. And it talks about that in scripture, lover of self. You're so in love with yourself that you're willing to tear down everything else, even the union of marriage, something the Lord has and he's the one who created that. You're willing to destroy that because of something you're trying to get for yourself. You know, it's just so sad. Actually, it's unfortunate. It really is. But it's
Yeah.
disordered thinking. You know, this is the world view that we're in here, not the biblical view. You know, the biblical world view.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
I also think for her, this idea of, yes, exactly what you're saying, Q, just to add, marriage is a gift to mankind that God has given
Mhm.
for mankind to be fruitful and
Yeah.
multiply, right? So those are the responsibilities for women to be doing. You're there, you're raising your children, you're managing your home. You're supposed to be doing those things joyfully and willingly as unto the Lord.
Right.
Raise your children
Right.
as unto the Lord. Save your husband as unto the Lord. So you
Absolutely.
might not even be like a Christian, but the fact that you guys you are in that particular union that God has ordained, you it's a blessing. You see what I mean? Children are a
Right.
gift from the Lord. So this woman does not want that responsibility that God has called her to. So she's
Mhm.
gonna
Mhm.
create her own. She's gonna make something out of herself. Exactly what you say, feminism, and this is whatever
Mhm.
Eve says. Like has God really said this, and you want to give it a try. I say, oh, not to eat, not to touch it. So now she wants to
Mm.
create something. So like yeah, it's very interesting how these things ends. And then this idea of everything, videoing everything. I'm like, okay, in her case, I'm like, okay, this is good that you're putting these things to the public. People can see. Uh, Definitely some things that people can definitely learn from her. I thought,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right, here we have this lady.
The last few days have been super traumatizing for me. My own fault.
Yeah,
It's always my fault. But anyway, I didn't know.
probably.
Well, I guess I did know, but that I would have this really strong reaction physically, trauma reaction to finding out that my estranged husband has been having a new relationship.
Pay attention.
Now, I'm not saying that he
Now I
shouldn't.
can't remember
We've
if
been separated
she if
for a
they
year,
if she
but we
bleeped
see each other
out
a
her
lot, and we spend
word
time
here,
as a
but
family
she
together a lot.
coming up she does use a
And I
pretty
had asked
strong
him many
word.
times, "Are you seeing somebody?" And he said, "No, no, no." He kept saying no. And then he'd take me to dinner and we'd have a nice chat. And I have a boyfriend that I've been seeing. So it's not like I think he shouldn't. Don't get me wrong. This isn't about that. But what happened was because he didn't tell me, I felt safe around him still, like in the way that he still loved me. So he invited me to go on a trip with him and the girls. And
Hold up before she gets into it. Pete, what she just said. She felt safe because she still felt like he loved her. You know how sick and twisted or just emotionally inept that you have to be to leave someone else and still feel safe with them because they haven't found someone else to replace you with?
I said yes. He bought this big boat for his business, and so we went and got on this boat.
He's
But
well off.
I said yes because I didn't want, you have this feeling when you first get separated that you can't imagine your husband and your children having a great time without you or with a new woman. And I was like, okay, I don't know whether I should go or not. Like, I don't want him to think something, and I don't. But then my daughter said, well, he's not going to ask you again, so you should come. And I don't know why she said that, but I do now. So I went. And then when I was there, I found out, because he kept texting and texting, and I just was like, what's going on? And anyway, I found out through some very horrific texts, my fault, that not only was he having a relationship, but they're totally involved in saying I love you and blah, blah, blah. And I had this physical trauma.
Became real for you.
I went off the fucking rails. It was terrible.
Her reaction is visceral because he's financially supporting another chick, because he's found a replacement for her. And the thought that the family could be happy without her is not something that she's ever considered. So all the time that you
Oh my God. This lady, I think she took her ex husband for granted.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
think this is
Mhm.
the same thing that Jada Pinkett is doing with Will. Almost kind of like, I can do whatever I want. He's always going to be around. He's not going anywhere. So this ex-husband of hers moved on. So now she's saying she's actually having a physical reaction. Like, wait a minute, this guy is moving on. Like, yeah. So I don't
She's
know.
so selfish. She's so selfish.
Very
That's
selfish.
the thing. That's the
Very
thing.
selfish.
That's her problem. She is so inward. So she's actually worked up about somebody that she left because they got somebody else. You see what I'm saying? She's very and it's unfortunately she's in one of those deals where she kind of got what she deserved, unfortunately. And so hopefully she'll get it together. It's sad, but this is what happens. And now, granted, everybody, listen, this type of stuff happens to people that are faithful, that are doing da da da. Sometimes stuff just don't work out. But I think what we can learn from this is that we do not need to take on society's view of
Mm.
relationships and marriage and the woman and the man, the womanhood, manhood, all that. Don't take on the world's view, because what's going to happen is you're going to end up, this all it's going to end up with is destruction in the end. And of course, we do hear stories that people go off into la la land together after they've cheated and did all that. I get it. But the principle is this: we want to live according to what the Lord has designed. We just do. We want
Yes.
to honor,
Mm.
marriage. We want to honor motherhood and all those type of things. And don't be so self-absorbed. Let's get out of ourselves, okay? Because it's not a good look. She's looking real bad.
Yeah, she does look desperate. Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't know. Things aren't going that great.
Struggling.
I just keep thinking about what it used to be like when things were good. And maybe all of this was my fault.
It was.
Maybe I'm selfish, narcissistic.
You are.
Maybe it's me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm the one. I don't know, but
I do. We all
I'm
do.
kind of struggling. All that fake, all
We
that
stop
happy.
it
Oh,
really
I'm doing so
quickly.
great. I think I was in
Fi-
shock, and now it's coming like into reality, and I don't know. I know this is just a separation, and there are a lot of worse things in the world than this. I just don't know what my life's gonna be like.
Got real for you.
I can't seem to remember anything bad. I just remember all the good things.
Woo!
Oh, now you remember the good things.
This really lovely woman, I cut her hair and do her highlights, and I do her kids' hair and her husband. And they invited me to dinner tonight. It's Saturday night. And I was getting ready to go, and I bought the kids little gifts. And I just thought, I'm going to go and have dinner with these
Another
people
family.
and their children.
Yep.
Instead of being at home with my own.
What I will say is that while I often clown on these kind of crying videos, what I do appreciate is that not only is she uploading the highlights, but she's also uploading the reality that she came to realize. And I think it serves as a key data point against the feminist narrative of being strong and independent, or thinking you can go back on the market after you've hit the wall and have the same results as when you were young, fit, and in your 20s. I really hope all 30.1 women that watch this channel are taking notes on this video.
And I wonder what I'm doing. It's really not. I don't know what to do. I don't know why I feel like this. I miss my family. I miss being a family. Maybe it's worth just staying miserable if you get your family.
Violins, everybody, please.
Without them,
Down to
I
the
don't know
chat.
who I am anymore.
You
So,
ruined it.
I'm not drinking. I'm not crying because I'm drinking. I'm crying because it's hard. It's really hard. Anyway, I hope you're having a happy Saturday. I'm sure I'll be fine later. It just hit me. Like all of everything I've ever known is gone. My family isn't here anymore. I mean, they're here, but we're not together. And I'm gonna go sit with some other family. I mean, it's nice that they invited me, but it's not easy.
She says she doesn't know what to do. You get on both of your knees.
I don't think
Uh,
she's crying because I don't think she's solely crying because she lost her family. Things didn't work out the way she thought it was going to work out. That's the thing.
Correct.
It did not work out the way she thought it was going to work out. See, so yeah, but anyway,
And
there we are.
and that's the thing with these lovely women. I mean, I like the gentleman said, I do appreciate she's showing the highlights and the lowlights.
mm.
However, they're fake tears, ma'am. I just don't believe you, and I don't feel sorry for you because apparently your little boyfriend is not there
Right.
now. And because you were all
Oh,
like, oh, look, look, I'm in
Mm-hmm.
here and he's cooking breakfast for
Yep.
me
Yep.
and blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
She thought she was Stella getting a groove back.
That's it. That's
oh,
it.
so the
Well,
That's
man,
it.
boyfriend is
that's
also gone. So
Yeah,
now
yeah,
she's.
that's what she's yeah, it didn't turn out the way she thought it was going to turn out. And we need to start embracing whatever part of life we're in, embrace that. Stop being 50 trying to be 30 because 50 is actually 50. See that? And 40 is actually
amen.
40. That's what you do that's what you
Amen.
Oh,
do what you do at those ages. Stop trying to do that's our problem. We need to be grateful for for the stage that we have. That's what we have each stage because that's whatever is done at that stage that was supposed to be done, So let's stop doing that. Stop doing that.
You
It's
would
not a
think
good
Wow.
that
look.
people would learn. It's like these are people who
Right.
have not learned anything. You have spent
Right.
your time on TikTok. Cause again, she's on to be somebody's grandma. I don't know if she got
Right.
married later in life or whatever. She's on to be somebody's grandma. You are you watch too many TikTok videos for hot girl summer and all these
Right.
people who are lying to you because they're curating their content, telling you that they
Mm.
are happy with their lives and they left the
Yes.
men and the men.
Mhm.
That's what you're doing, and you are
Yep.
feeding. You're being fed lies. I
That's
watched a
right.
gentleman and he was talking about how on Instagram, if you don't use filters on your photos, they stand out because that's what everybody does. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever put a filter on a photo. I don't post to
Mhm.
Instagram like that either. But any photo, I'm like, because I didn't even know people were using filters to probably about a year and a half ago. I was like, why does everybody's picture look so good, but I look crazy?
Right.
Because it's just me.
Yeah. So
What did
I
Eric
wow.
say?
I was fooled by her tears, honestly. I was like, wow, she's so remorseful. I feel sorry for her. And now I'm even thinking, do you think you guys in the chat you can respond? Do you think the husband should take her back? Because if she's remorseful, they were
No,
married for 30 years. The scripture
nope.
says you have to be reconciled to your husband.
Mm-mm.
So
But she cheated on him, so he really has a grounds
Don't
to.
be a fool.
Although both of them are in the wrong, because he had a girlfriend too as well. So,
yeah, so
but
they can,
I
they
don't
can
know.
come back together
No.
and
Mm-mm,
But she
mm-mm.
doesn't
No,
want
no.
him though.
Listen to
That's the
Luther.
thing.
No. But here's the deal. Listen to Luther. He said, each time around, I tell myself it'll be better than before. No, I don't want to be a fool. I don't want to be a fool again, ever again. He should
Oh
not
my
take that chick back.
goodness.
And again, I'm
Yeah.
not for a divorce.
Yeah, I agree.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
okay.
Sometimes I just wonder, like, what am I doing? Like, what have I chosen? Why did I do this? I had a dream last night that my estranged husband came to me and said, I've hurt my hand so badly. And he was crying and he said he needed my help. And I said, well, how about I just move in and take care of you? And it was like he was the way he used to be. And it was like we were starting over. And it was an upsetting dream. It's not possible. It's just the way the dream came out. I guess I was just, my body is like telling me that I love him. I always will. But, things are different. And then I get angry sometimes and I'm like, why doesn't he believe that I should have alimony? Or, he wants to give me some money, but it's not, I need to have a monthly payment. And all the things we ever had were partly because of me, because my parents lent us money and, I was really good at helping him. And I was smart. He didn't have a dumb wife. He had a smart wife that helped him and encouraged him and stood by him. Even when something bad happened and I did something bad, I was punished for until now when I left. But everything he did, it was okay. But everything that I did, like, I was to be blamed. Everything has been my fault. And it's like, is this how you spend the rest of your life? Like, at my age, he has more money than me. I live in a shitty apartment. I'm like struggling trying to find a place to live. And men think that the women don't deserve anything, that they're freeloading.
Oh, shut
That they're
up.
asking for free money, that they got all they deserved. And they should get the hell out and find their own way after 30 years.
Notice how she's victimizing herself after she made the decision to leave him.
Right.
You made the decision to leave, ma'am. You don't deserve shit. You should have never left. You made an emotionally baked, short-term decision without thinking about the logical, long-term consequences of your actions. But now you're feeling them.
Of taking care of somebody. And yes, he took care of me too, in many ways, but failed in some ways because here we are. And, but I'm the one that's valueless. It's the wife. There's something wrong.
Long story short, guys, I think a lot more men in modern
I think this woman took the husband for granted. Because when they were married, like she's sharing, right? Oh, I was doing this. They got the money because of his parents, and she was taking care of business. So she
Hmm.
assumed, what's the point? I'm married to this guy. I have kids. I'm doing everything. I don't need this man. Let me just go and be free. And not only that, I'm just going to leave these kids and just go and be free. So she decided to do that. Lo and behold, this guy was able to take care of business. And he had a board, he has a girlfriend. And I think this is also where the problem comes in, where women, they just take over in a home thinking that, oh, my husband is not leading, he's not doing anything, so we just take it upon ourselves to be doing these things. So for all those years, for 30 years, she thought that the husband cannot handle it, but unbeknownst to her, it was because she was just the one. Okay, this is the money my parents gave us, we're gonna do this, I'm gonna help you do all that. So she thought the husband was not capable, was not able. Now,
Hmm.
in her absence, this guy doesn't have a wife, he only has kids. Guess what? He's swinging into action. He's taking care of business, investing, got a boat, and he's doing things. Met another girl, and he's doing fine. This woman is looking like, wait a minute, I'm the one who's struggling for an apartment. Now I need the money. You need to give me the money. But before she told us that she was doing fine, she found a nice apartment. Now she's saying she doesn't have a good apartment. So I'm thinking this is what happened with her. One, she took her husband for granted, and two, with her feminism, she was in charge of her home. So she thought her leaving, everything was going to fall apart. Unbeknownst to that, everything just blossomed. So, what do you guys
Hmm.
think?
I don't think that she was necessarily taking over the house. I think she was probably, based on just kind of what she was saying, I think she was probably more the socialite wife. So she helped her husband. They probably got married. They were married 30 years. They got married young. They had kids. They were building something together. He probably built up a good business reputation in the community. She's playing the role of the socialite. She's doing the cooking, the cleaning, playing the role of the good wife. And she decided, I've had enough of this and I want to pull apart my family. She left. He probably said to her, I'm sure he probably said to her, honey, please don't go. Baby, please don't go. But you cannot make somebody stay with you who does not want to stay with you. So he said, fine.
Mm.
I'm sure the rent on that apartment is being paid for by him. But she wants to be like, well, I deserve more because I helped him build this. He didn't leave you, Betty Bop. You left him.
Yes.
And when you left, you gave up the money, the lifestyle, apparently your kids, because they seem to be checking for your
This,
husband and not you, because
yes. Yeah.
they feel like you were dumb also. You gave all that up. It was a choice that you made. Nobody put a gun to your head. Nobody did any of that. So you are now living with the consequences of your choices. Enjoy that humble pie.
Mm, that's it. Wow.
What
That's
about you, Jorena?
that's basically it. And even in her talk right now with the seeming like she's sorrowful, it's still about herself. Can you notice that? It's all about
Yes.
Hmm.
herself. What she doesn't have now, what she's not getting now, how she's being looked over. It's still that was her problem to begin with. And to take that selfishness will get you messed up. It just will. So, she basically got what she deserved. But and then you know what? Here's the thing too. We don't know how maybe whatever issues she may have been having with her husband in the marriage, but there's where we go. We see what scripture says about that. How love covers a multitude of faults. How we're supposed to put another above ourselves. See, those are the things that's supposed to flow within a relationship. So, she may have had some issues and reasons why she might have wanted to leave, but was it worth sacrificing everything just because of certain little spots wasn't right? We got to ask ourselves that. So, but yeah, I kind of feel bad for her though. She needs to come to Christ. That's what she needs to do. So,
Ye-
She definitely does need Jesus. But
yep.
she also needs to eat some of this crow. Who knows? Maybe her husband will take her back. Maybe he did take her back. I don't know. Honestly, I wouldn't. I will tell you this, and just sharing a little portion of my thing. I was in a relationship, had somebody cheat on me, decided they wanted to be with the person that they cheated on me with, and then in the end, when okay, I was not necessarily, I guess I wasn't too mean, but once they found out that life wasn't what they thought it was, tried to be like, oh, we should get back together. No, we shouldn't.
Yep, that's
No,
right.
we shouldn't.
That's exactly
We're
right. That's
good.
exactly right. Yep.
It's like
Because
we're good. You made
yeah,
your
yep.
choice,
That's right. That's
and
right.
now this is the consequence of the choice that you made.
That's right.
And okay, Keon, sometimes I cannot be godly. I laughed. I didn't laugh in the person's face,
But
but
later
I
on, you
laughed.
did.
Because part of it is I saw, because just a whole bunch of other various things with it. But I'm like, I saw what this person
Mm,
couldn't see, and I'm like, nope, that's really not gonna work out. That's really not where you want to be. But you've made your choice.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
can't
yeah.
hold on to somebody who doesn't want to be held on to. You
That's right.
can't.
And you shouldn't want somebody that doesn't want you. I always say that. You
Mhm.
never want someone that don't want you. So if someone has expressed that they don't want me, then oh no, we're not going to even revisit that because you've already expressed that you for what she did, she expressed that she does not want her husband. She just did. She
Yep.
doesn't want him, and she doesn't even want him now. She's just upset because
Yep.
of the way things turned out.
She wants
Yeah,
the
so when
Yes.
somebody
bag.
lets you know
Somebody
that
else is
that you
enjoying that.
they don't want you, yeah, don't I don't think
Yeah.
you should take them back for
I
sure.
think if the
Yeah,
husband wasn't doing fine, she wouldn't have cared.
Yep.
But that he's doing
Yep.
fine as if nothing
mhm,
happened. It's just
yep,
why am I the one who is
Absolutely.
miserable? He's out here doing fine. So
yep,
she's jealous that his life just act as if nothing happened. Like yeah. So I think
Right. He
that's
didn't skip.
exactly
He didn't
what's
skip a
happening to
beat.
her.
He did
Yes.
not skip a beat. And
Yeah.
what she didn't count on, because she was like, it's like we're just out here not contributing to anything. No, ma'am, you made a life with this person. And
Yeah.
he, while you were with him, was treating you like you made a life with him.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
decided you didn't want that life.
Yes.
Now, mind you, you should have thought about the fact that I have no money, no job, no skills, and I'm somebody's grandma before you decided to move into your little ratty apartment where your boyfriend,
Oh
who
man.
oh,
probably only went out with you one time and then came back to your place to cook you breakfast.
I know. I
You
know.
should have thought about
Yeah.
that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I probably do sound heartless, and I'm sorry, y'all. I do have some feelings somewhere deep down in there. But I'm like, I can't. And I would tell you this because I'm gonna be honest. I would not feel sorry for myself either. So this isn't a whole little deal like, oh, if the situation were reversed, I'd be like, oh, but poor me. No, because even in my relationship where this happened, at once, all the time it passed and things like that, I even told this person, I'm like, I am sorry that how I contributed to the demise of our relationship. It's like there were lots of things going on, and it's like, and I could have been better in that.
Mm.
Now, did that mean that he had to go do what he did? Absolutely not. But I'm not going to pretend like there weren't issues that I contributed to. So
mhm.
it's like, but I'm like, in the end, I you know I know I'm not taking you back. I'm not.
Takes two to tango.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it takes two to tango. Yeah,
yeah,
man. Well, yeah, that was just that was actually the last clip. So the rest
Hmm.
it was just the guy, talking pretty much scolding her like, okay, this is what you
Yeah,
get. Yep.
yeah. And
So
and you know what? And because it is, I kind of been just enjoying the clips and everything, but God gave us a way to do things. And we're even told in scripture, we're like, he's like, those that have the law, they perish with the law for not obeying it if they don't obey it.
mm,
He was like, but
mm,
those who didn't have the law or a law unto themselves, because it's written on their hearts. There's a reason that every society you go to, whether or not they allow multiple marriages or not, they
mm,
have marriage. There is a reason that every society you go to, whether it's pagan, whether it's Christian, and we understand that we're not all as bad as we could be, and all cultures are not the same, and there are cultures who have done horrible things. But there are,
mm,
in general, when you don't have Lord of the Flies, you have certain basic things that are expected of people. You're expected to
mm,
get married. You're expected to have children. You're expected to take care of your family.
Mm.
Those are basic things because they are a common grace, and they are because we are made in the imago Dei. We're made in
Amen.
the image of God, and God
Mm.
takes care of his creation, and he has put that in our hearts to do that too. It makes me sad as I look on society today and I see men who are not doing what they were honestly created to do. And you see the curse playing out. You see how women are trying to dominate men, and we have just beat them down
Yeah.
so much. And
Yep.
unfortunately, they're not bowing up, sticking their chest out, and saying. Some of them are. It's like we're kind of seeing a pendulum swing. Sometimes it
Ah,
seems to be swinging too far, but it is because God, in the end, he wrote a book, but he also does give us natural revelation, and we have a conscience. We have things that are on our hearts. So the
yes.
initial part of it, with what you see in every society, is what's written on our hearts because we are made in his image. And then
Amen.
as we walk that out, and by his grace, he gives us more light, and he brings us to his special revelation where we hear, hey, you know what? You want to know why you're doing the things that you don't want to do or that you shouldn't do? Because we do like them when we're dead in our sins. It's because you are dead in your sins.
Yes. But
But I've
God.
made a way for you to be
Mm.
alive
Mm.
and
Mm-hmm.
in
Mm-hmm.
me. And so I can give you a new heart, and I can
Yeah.
change the wants of your heart. Because that's the thing. This
Amen.
lady, it's the whole little I regret I got caught. It's not the sorrow that leads to repentance, even in
That's
the
it.
Yeah.
natural
That's
sense of
it.
leading to repentance for her husband and to
Yep.
her husband.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a
Mm-hmm.
sorrow that leads to repentance.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
want
Things
the
didn't work out
sorrow
for her,
that
like what
leads to
Joanna said.
repentance.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want that
Amen.
sorrow that leads to repentance horizontally and vertically. Most important, vertically, because no matter, because like I said, marriage is a common grace from God. I really
Mm-hmm.
believe that. And I have seen people who are not Christians, would never profess to be Christians, and they have wonderful marriages. In
Absolutely.
the end,
Absolutely.
it doesn't matter because when you close your eyes, it doesn't matter who you were married to. It doesn't matter how much money you have.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter if you never cheated on your wife. It doesn't matter any about that. You will stand before a holy God
Yes, and you're gonna
who
give an
has but
account.
one standard,
That's
and
it.
it's
That's it.
his. And he has said you are to be
That's it.
perfect because he is
For he is
perfect.
perfect. Be you holy, for
And
I
if
am
you are
holy.
not, you only have two answers.
Say that.
Christ paid for it,
Mm-hmm.
or basically go ahead and give me what I deserve because I got to go pay for this now.
Yeah.
Say that.
And
And
good luck
more
with
than
that.
likely, the people who are watching this now are Christians, but you never know who's going to come across this. If you are dead
Mm-hmm.
in your sins and trespasses, you know that if you closed your eyes, no matter what you've done, no matter the good things you've done, you could never have murdered, stole, whatever. You've done it in your heart. And you were just born a sinner because you're born in Adam. You need to know that there is one who came, who lived that life that you couldn't live, who died the death that you deserve, that I deserve, that each and every one of us who has ever lived after Eve
That's
and
it.
Adam bit that fruit deserve. His name is Jesus.
Amen.
He hung on a cross for your sins. He rose from the dead to prove that his death paid for your sins. And if you put your trust in him, whether you get married, whether you have kids, whether you have been through a divorce, because unfortunately we live in a fallen world, and even as believers, we go through things.
That's it.
When you close your eyes, because death comes to us all, you will open them in glory with a God who loves you and has saved you, and you will fall at his feet forever, thanking him for that, being with your brothers and sisters who have also been given that gift of grace.
Amen.
Worship God. Worship God. Keep
Amen.
preaching.
Amen.
Do that.
Amen.
Amen.
Amen. All right,
Bless
Sister
the Lord.
Joanna, in closing, what do you have?
Oh,
Thank you, Q, for sharing the
man,
gospel. Thank
you
you.
didn't you didn't already did the sermon. We got to get an offering now. That's what we got to close with.
I
No
know.
sermon, no
We
sermon.
got to close with the offering. No, but yeah, everything
I'm
Q
over
just
here,
said,
Pastor, Pastor Q, Pastor, Pastor
yeah,
Q.
exactly.
Oh,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes.
Go
We
ahead,
need
Jurena.
Christ. That's it. At the end of the day, we need Christ. We need to surrender to Him. We need to live for Him. And it's so beautiful to live for Him. And those of us that are believers, of course, we don't live perfectly, but isn't it beautiful to live for Christ, to go ahead and surrender to His design, the way He's designed things? It's good to do that and to get out of ourselves. So that's really what the takeaway points could be from this. Get out of yourself. Get out of this the way the world has told you you should be. Get out of that. Don't listen to society. Don't listen to these idols. Don't do that. Come to Christ and see his way is good, and ask Him to
Amen.
help you to live for Him. That's what we need to do. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm gonna
that's
need
good.
y'all to pass that offering plate around though. So
I know, I know, I know, I know. Okay, Jurena, share
ah,
about your channel. Guys,
oh,
if you make sure you subscribe, okay? Subscribe to
okay.
follow off the way. Jurena has a channel. Be sure to subscribe. So
Yeah.
share
Mhm.
about your channel and what else do you
Oh,
have coming in?
yeah, so
We're
it's
still
but
waiting for
oh, you know
Q's
what?
channel
Actually, we
though.
do have something coming up. So next Friday, this Friday coming up next week, we're gonna do a live about what believing women want from a man. Okay, and actually, I'm inviting some, single ladies if they want to come and talk about that with us. We've got a few single ladies that's going to be on there, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to go over what the world says women want, and then we're going to talk about what the scripture says that the Lord has designed for women, what women actually need, and what us believing women should be looking for. That's what that's going to be about. All right. And it's basically, my channel is just about glorifying Christ, encouraging fellow believers, and sharing the gospel. That's basically it. So there we are.
Okay, so guys, be sure to subscribe, okay? If I haven't, I think it's already in the description below, but I'll double check. But that's her channel. Be sure to follow her. These are good sisters in the Lord. We always have fun every time. Like, we're just laughing out here, but this is it's beautiful. It's beautiful when we can come
All right.
together and just
It is.
just share all these things right from a biblical perspective. We appreciate you guys in the chat. Thank you for your input. It was nice seeing you guys. I see God's a fancy girl. She's in the building. Eric, he's saving us. Everybody was here. So we thank you guys. So I guess you're going to get ready because tomorrow is we go and worship, right? Go and worship your king. You're going to go worship your king.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm gonna go worship your king. So this, yeah, I had fun, man. We're just laughing the whole time. This was good. This was good. This was
Cool.
good. This was nice, 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 nice. Okay. All right, guys, we appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like this video. Be sure to follow Jurena on her channel, on her page. She has something special coming on Friday. So tune in, okay? Tune in. We appreciate you guys for being here. I hope you find this to be informative. I know I'm just laughing the whole way. I'm like, you cannot believe what's going on. But these are the people, this is what's happening. So we can see that as a mission field. So this is a public square. A little bit scripture over here. You're sharing, you're planting, you're watering. Only God is able to bring the increase. He can use any situation to bring people to Himself. So God is calling all people using all kinds of things, right? Our job is to plant, is to water. He's the one who brings the increase. As they say, the harvest is plentiful, but the laborers are few. So pray for the Lord of the harvest to send in laborers. So if you're a Christian, you are responsible to be doing God's work in everything that you do. All right, guys. So that is all that we have for you guys today. I hope you find this to be informative to you. Be sure to subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Until next time, remember, theology matters. Good night.